Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Fall in Love with a Princess Diva in Backrooms Part 5. Chapter 19. Dark and cold. Unknown level, 10:45 am. The train had completely come to an halt. The conductor had been the first to wake up and try and start the train, but it was powerless for the time being. The others then woke up with Issei being the first to wake up. Issei. Ugh, where are we? Issei then looked around to see everyone was knocked out by the crash. He then woke up Ingvild and the others. John then spoke. John. Issei, what happened? Ruby, where are you? Ruby. Right here, I am alright. Summer. I remember being in the train after that the lights went out and then we crashed. Nafumi looked out of the window to see a dark place. He then noticed that the area was awfully serene and quiet. Nafumi. Hey Issei, are we in level 9? Issei looks out of the window and says, Issei. Not at all, the roads are not wet here and the metro will not crash at level 9. This seems to be an undiscovered level, at least in my opinion. Summer. Anyways, whatever it is, everyone stick together, we need to survive this level and find a way out of here. Our goal is the end and I want everyone to get out safe and sound without any damage. Issei and the others nod, after which Ingvild sneezes, which surprises everyone. Issei. Anything wrong, Heim? Ingvild. I feel awfully cold here, does anyone have a jacket or sweater or something to be warm? Ruby. I think I do, we purchased these remember, and I have one for everyone, since I had a feeling that we might travel to a cold level, so I purchased one for you. John. And I have two for you guys as well, since this level seems to be cold, we might as well wear them right now, since we need to find a way out of here. Nafumi. Wow, thanks John, like the color. John. You're welcome, what about you Mrs. Rose? Summer. I have mine in case I get cold, but the cold never bothered me anyway. Alright, let's go and explore any exit. Issei. Before that, let me see whether the conductor is awake or not. Issei checks that the conductor is trying to get the train back running. He then looks at Issei and says, Conductor. I am sorry sir, for the problem we have, I am unable to get the power back. It will take some time to get the power back, but if you want to hurry, you will need to wait for a while. I am once again sorry for the crash sir. Issei. I am just glad that none of us are harmed, we will explore the level, just give me a call if you can get the train to run. The conductor nods and Issei gives him his mobile number. He then waves goodbye to the gang as they wear their jackets and venture outside in the level. The last thing they heard before passing out was the train noise being replaced by blood-curdling screams. They stay on guard given that this is an unknown level. Issei and the others get out of the train to notice the level was extremely dark, almost on par with level 9, but thankfully not as dark as level 6, which will be pretty annoying, but they still had no idea where they were, and there was no sign of any entity life or any life in general, so they needed to be careful. They moved to what seemed to be a single train track moving forward. They realized that this level is on the metro. Ruby sent out Jerry to check if there is a settlement ahead. Elle then spoke from the gear. Elle. I have heard of this level from a wanderer. I think this looks familiar, although it has been a long time since I got any information relating to the level. Issei. So what did that wanderer say? Elle. He told me that there is a level where the humans present were hostile, as much as the entities that are normally encountered by a level. There also seemed to be a cult that is present on this level, that's all I remember, I will try to recollect and Issei cuts her off. Issei. Take your time Belle, I will figure out a way to get out of here, we will get out of here. Summer. I also think I have heard a level similar to what Belle described as, but even I am unable to recollect it. Ruby. Mom, don't push yourself if you are unable to. John. Ruby is correct, although this level is kind of creepy in my opinion. Ingvild. True, and the cold only increases the creepiness factor tenfold. Nafumi. Anyways, complaining will not work, let's find a way out of here. Where is Jerry though? Ruby. He should be here at any moment, and Jerry flew towards them. Ruby then said, Ruby. There he is Jerry, did you find any settlements out here? Jerry. Yes I did Master Ruby, there is one in a kilometer, but the people here seem to be completely secluded and avoid any more people present on this level. It seems they do not like any visitors or outsiders. Elle. No outsiders, I remember now, the name of this level. Issei. What is it? Elle. That wanderer called this level the Dark Metro. This level can only be accessed by the metro, and one of the best possible ways to get out of here is by the metro itself. Any other exit will lead back to level 0 or a dangerous level. Summer. This is not good, so we are stuck here till the conductor fixes the train. Summer paled when she heard the level was the Dark Metro. She had heard rumors of this level's existence, since there was no concrete proof about this level being there or no. Ruby then asked, Ruby. Mom, what do you know of this level? Summer. Only rumors, they say that this level can only be accessed by the metro, and you can never get out of here. Many people including some of our agents get lost in this level, as we lose contact of them. We have been trying to find a definitive escape route from here, but there was never a way. Reports from our agents and the wanderers who have escaped with their life state that they woke up at level 0 once they escaped from here. Greg. Summer is right, even my data on this level is very low, the humans over here are hostile, and there is one entity we need to be worried about, and he is the Dark Priest. Issei. Who exactly is he? Greg. The Dark Priest is theorized to be, at least, partially human. The Dark Priest appears to speak only in the Latin language and has not been documented speaking anything else. The Dark Priest is always seen fully concealed under black robes. He wears a wooden cross around his neck and walks on a cane with red jewels on it. Reports of him have described him wearing various red jewelry and having blood-stained garments. Due to the lack of significant light in the level, his face has never been photographed. The Dark Priest is likely the only being that is in direct communication with the Dark Metro entity. He seems to be able to communicate with it and act as a mediator between it and the townspeople. He is known to organize the sacrifices that take place every 3 days by keeping a tablet of every name in the town. He is never seen outside of the main building, excluding the sacrificial rituals of course. The townspeople fear even the mention of his name. When he makes an appearance in the main building, he enters by no clipping through the wall, or at least that is what appears to occur. Where exactly he comes from is unknown, as the MEG's current understanding of same level no clipping would imply that he would have to have come from the back wall outside. Despite this, he has never once been seen coming from anywhere but inside the church. MEG has theorized the possibility of a secret room or supernatural abilities. We do not know much about them, so it is best we avoid them and avoid being chosen or marked for the ritual, or our fate is sealed. The gang gulped when they heard of this. They had no choice but to head to the neighborhood so that at the very least they can get supplies or stay there till they get the call from the conductor that the train has been fixed. They decided to visit the neighborhood, which was kind of dark, just like how level 9, but the houses were of suburban architecture, unlike the modern architecture that level 9 had. Despite this, the gang noted that the town gave an eerie feeling unlike level 9, which acted as safe spots. It was a risk, since the Dark Priest could mark anyone down for his stupid ritual. They moved into the town where the townspeople were all looking at them with curiosity, some with fear. They knew that they were also sent to this town by the metro, the same thing they are known to fear. Issei then moved to a shop where the shopkeeper looked at him in pure fear. Issei. Relax, we are not going to hurt you, why do you fear us? The shopkeeper weakly responded. Shopkeeper. Why you do not belong here, why you were sent here by the metro, right? Issei. Not by choice, our destination was not here, so is there a way we can get out, and if you can tell us more about this level. We will never bother you ever again. The shopkeeper pondered for a while, he then spoke. The shopkeeper. There are ways, young man, I don't sense sinister intent from you, I will tell you everything. There are multiple ways of exiting this level. One is by no clipping, which will send you to a place with fluorescent light bulbs and a wet carpet. Issei. Level 0. The shopkeeper. Is that what you call it? Then yes, aside from that there are many locations here. The central plaza is where the sacrifices happen to the entity known as the Dark Metro. He is the one the Dark Priest works for. I am sure you would have heard of him. Issei. But I thought the Dark Metro is the level name, right? The shopkeeper. You are not wrong, young man, but it is named after the entity present here. The Dark Priest views him as a god figure or a dark deity, but he is anything, but he is a sinister entity who loves to hurt people and make them disappear. No one knows what happens after the Dark Metro kills anyone, but there have been reports of people surviving. It would be a miracle if there is anyone that would save us from this monster. Issei. I see, so when is this ritual? The shopkeeper. Usually it happens in 2 to 3 days. On the days when the ritual takes place, 8 hours before the sacrifice is made, the Dark Priest chooses someone that will be sacrificed to the train itself. He speaks in a language that we never hear of. Once he points your name, you are as good as dead. The Dark Priest will take you to the ritual at the central plaza where your fate is sealed. And if you do not show up, the Dark Priest will send his henchmen known as the Shadows to find and capture and kill you as well. They are fast such that no wanderer was ever able to detect his presence, and you will be either sent to the ritual site or as you escape you will die a miserable death, so be careful. You will come to know of the metro's presence when the bells of the cathedral ring. After the 12th ring the metro will arrive. After that we can only pray for the wanderer's existence and survival. Issei. Bells, is there a church around? The shopkeeper. Indeed there is, although it is quite unsettling despite being a holy place. Honestly, there is nothing holy about it. That's where the Dark Priest resides, so be careful. And I would tell you good luck and hope you guys can make it out home alive. And you only have 1 hour before the Dark Priest shows up and says any of our names. And finally, there is one thing you need to know. Well, the Dark Priest has powers. He is still human. He has a human face and a human anatomy. You can take him down. The only reason we are unable to take him down is because of the shadows. But if you are even able to disable or daze the priest, you can easily save yourselves a terrible fate and go back home successfully. After that, once you get out of here, we were told that if you can survive by metro, you will be able to move on to a safe level after that. Issei. Okay, thanks for your time, shopkeeper. The shopkeeper nods, he then joins the rest of the group who were also trying to find out a way to leave this dreaded level. Issei then asks, Issei. So what happened? John. I and Ruby went to some residents, but most of them avoided us like the plague, kinda like how I was at Beacon, only this time I do not understand why they feared or hated us. Ruby nodded in agreement, she never understood their reasoning for their hatred. Nafumi. As for us, we came to know the location of the central plaza, where this ritual would happen. As for the communities, it was hard and well I had to threaten some folks for information. Ingvild. You literally said that if you would not tell us I will Iron Maiden the heck out of you, is that what you call threaten? Nafumi. More like, aggressive negotiations. Ingvild face palms on this, while Summer and the others sigh. Summer then speaks. Summer. I managed to find weapons, they pretty much gave them to me, thankfully I was able to talk with them, and most of them were willing to talk to me without hesitation. Honestly, once I was able to convince them I am not a threat, they were willing to help me. Summer showed them few bottles of liquid pain and shards of fire salt. John then asked. John. So what about you, Issei, did you find anything? Issei. At first they were afraid of me as well, but when I informed them I would not bother him, he told me most of the stuff about the level, from the cathedral present here, where the dark priest and his minions the shadows reside in, as well as the location of where they are present, not to mention we have only 8 hours before the ritual will officially begin, so we need to prepare and try to avoid being spotted by him. In addition to that I also have found what exactly this dark metro entity is. John. What is it? Issei. A sadistic and cunning entity, the dark priest seems to be a sort of the person that would be a connection to it and him, anyways we need to be careful, and the only way we can come to know if the bell of the cathedral rings, that's when we come to know about the time when the train shows up, we need to either get out of here. Nafumi. Or worst case scenario, end up fighting the dark metro. Issei nodded in response, this is going to be a tough fight for any of them, tougher than any of the fight they previously had, they managed to barely survive so far, and if they ended up facing him, it would surely not end well, anyways whatever happens next would be for the best, or at least they hoped it to be. Greg. It's gonna be alright, stay strong, we have fought gods and other Longinus wielders before we will come out of this alive. L. Drake is correct, Ice, we will make it out alive, no one will die thanks to a machine, we will survive. Issei nodded, he needed to be strong not for himself, but the people he cared about, he assumed that this might be the redacted watchers doing, so he needed to be prepared for what comes next. John then asks. John. If we may face against shadows belonging to the dark priest, can we know more about them? Before Issei could say anything Drake spoke. Drake. The shadows are 2 entities that appear to accompany the dark priest. Unlike the dark priest, the shadows are not human. They have a humanoid form, but lack any visible body parts. Black shadows, hence the name, appear where their faces and hands should be. The shadows never speak, or even move very often for that matter. They are only ever seen in the presence of the dark priest, almost always standing motionless and quiet. They both wear identical clothing. A gray vest over a blue dress shirt, a long tie tucked into the vest, black khaki pants, and black dress shoes, topped with a leather fedora over their heads. Their exact height has been estimated at around 6'8" each, going off of video analysis, pixel measurements, and measurable reference points of control. While the priest communicates the dark metro's will to the townspeople, the shadows act upon it. Documented examples that support this theory include the shadows being the ones to place the sacrifice into the dark metro during the rituals, seeking out and killing anyone who does not appear at the rituals, and restraining newly discovered people who have entered the level. Only 2 of these entities have ever been seen at a single time, but MEG is open to the theory that there could be many. Issei. Okay, so let's just. Before Issei could continue the bell started to ring once, they knew that this signaled the dark metro's arrival in this level. After a few seconds he could see the dark-robbed man and 2 people standing next to the man. They did not have a visible body, Issei, and the others realized that the robbed man was the dark priest, and the entities next to him were his shadows. Issei noticed an ominous aura coming from the trio, the others also felt a feeling of dread when they were near them, especially Jerry, Ruby and Rex, they do not seem to be nice people, even by just looking at them. The townspeople were terrified of them, but they came to see nevertheless, since they would kill anyone whose name was chosen by the dark priest, and were trying to escape. The dark priest then spoke in a raspy voice. Dark priest. Gradi homins, sis quad tempus est. Welcome people, you know what time is it? The others in the group were confused as to what language, however this was not a problem for Issei and Ingvild, being a reincarnated devil and half-devil respectively, allowed them to learn and understand any language, one of them being Latin. John. Does anyone know what he is speaking? Issei. I do. Nafumi. How? Issei. As a reincarnated devil, I can understand any language. Ingvild. Me too, even I can learn as well. Issei. Worry not, I will translate. Dark priest. Venit tempus, obscura metro semel iterum pedivit sacrificium, the time has come, the dark metro has once again asked for a sacrifice. Issei translated them to his friends who were not unsurprised, they knew that the time has come for an innocent victim to be sacrificed. The dark priest then takes out a scroll and speaks the victim's name. Dark priest. Is cuius anima sacrificarator, est nafumi iwatani. The one whose soul would be sacrificed is Nafumi Iwatani. Issei did not need to translate this for them, he and Ingvild looked at Nafumi in pity, the others were shocked that his name was taken, while Nafumi was speechless, they knew that they would be confronting the Dark Metro very soon. Scene break. Chapter 20. Cult Ritual and the Dark Metro. The Dark Metro, 1:45 p.m. Everyone was still trying to get over their shock of knowing that Nafumi was the one to be chosen to be sacrificed for the ritual. The priest then spoke in the same raspy voice. Dark Priest. Octo tantum horas habes reliquas, orations tu as dicet vel ultimos da. You have only 8 hours remaining, say your prayers and give your last goodbyes. The dark priest and his shadows leave from there, Issei and the others only look at the shield hero in pure sympathy, while Nafumi was still in shock as his name was being chosen. Issei on the other hand, was trying to save Nafumi from his dreaded fate. They then go inside a room to see what they can plan in order to get out. They enter a warehouse where they could be safe from the public for the time being. There were only 7 hours before the ritual would take place, 6 hours in the dark priests, and the shadows would show up and try to kidnap Nafumi for his final ritual. They needed to plan something before it is too late. That's when Issei heard an argument going on between Nafumi and John. John? Are you crazy Nafumi? You will not sacrifice yourself to them. Nafumi. Listen to me John, I want you guys to be alive, so I will sacrifice myself to that stupid train. John then grabs Nafumi's jacket and speaks. John. You will not sacrifice yourself for that train, we will find a way to get out of here alive. Nafumi also started to get angry. Nafumi. You. They were both about to attack when Issei got into them and spoke. Issei. That's enough. Issei's yell was enough to get the fighting boys to stop, he then spoke. Issei. Listen to me, I will not let you sacrifice yourself to that train, and that's final. Nafumi. But they will come after me either way. Issei. That's why I have a plan, we will get out of here alive, none of us will die. I made a promise that I intend to fulfill. We all will be leaving out of here, and none of us will die. Now listen closely, I will inform you my plan. 8 hours later, Nafumi was sitting alone in the warehouse, he knew of Issei's plan, and he was waiting for them to show up, and little after a while the dark priest showed up along with his shadows. Dark priest. Credo tempus tuum venis, Nafumi Iwatani. Gaudio T. Courier Nullius I believe your time has come, Nafumi Iwatani. I am glad you did not choose to run. Nafumi was able to understand thanks to the communication circle Issei had given him, that translated everything for the shield hero in Latin. Nafumi then spoke. Nafumi. Yeah I know, there is no point in running, my fate seems to be sealed because of your stupid ritual. One of the shadows tried to grab Nafumi for insulting the dark metro, but the dark priest stops him, he then speaks. Dark priest. Non intelligus quod ad meorum rem electa est anima tua juvenis, sed ne cures dominum nostrum tibi salutum estendier, t ad meorum usum electum es. You do not understand that your soul has been chosen for a greater purpose young man, but worry not our Lord will show you salvation, that you have been chosen for a greater purpose. Nafumi. Yeah let's just head there and get this over with, I know I cannot escape my fate. The dark priest chuckles, the young man has accepted his fate, unlike many other unfortunate souls. Nafumi then gets up and walks to the priest, he then speaks. Nafumi. Led the way. The dark priest nods and Nafumi follows him and his 2 shadows to the central plaza, where the sacrifice would take place. The bell had already rung 11 times before, which gave enough time for the dark priest and his shadows to prepare for the ritual. The dark priest speaks. Dark priest. Hic est plaza centralis, ubi dominus noster et salvator adveniat. This is the central plaza, where our Lord and Savior would arrive. The central plaza seemed to be a large parking lot with a small strip mall of stores, none of which are ever open or lit. For anyone that visited the level, this area was incredibly unsafe due to the amount of people there at almost all times. For inhabitants, it's where most people commune, trade, and perform community activities. Given that the town they entered in was somewhat far away from the central plaza, the people here are mostly hostile to any wanderers that may or may not show up. Nafumi then looked at 2 figures in the back, one was having brown hair, while the other was in purple hair, they had worn hoods so as to not be recognized. Nafumi immediately recognized them as Issei and Ingvild, everything is going according to plan. Flashback. Issei. Alright listen, since we may fight against the dark metro, I will go to the central plaza, where the sacrifice will happen, Ingvild will join me in that area, you don't mind right? Ingvild. I will come. John. But won't you guys get caught? The people around the central plaza are known to be hostile and will take down any outsider. Issei. That's where our training comes in, you see our master Sub-Zero taught us the art of blending in and infiltrating into an enemy territory without getting caught. Ingvild then chipped in. Ingvild. And that's not all, we were undetected during our training, even a master ninja like Sub-Zero had difficulty in detecting us, so I know that we will be fine. Issei. And once we are inside, I will release Naofumi and distract the Dark Priest and the shadows, while Ingvild can deal with those people, using her water magic, she would put those people unconscious, since your water magic can now fill up entire cities, right? Ingvild nods in confirmation, Issei then says, Issei. As for the others, you will stay near the cathedral where people will not present since they would be in the central plaza, you will get the signal of the train coming once the church bell rings, after that you should hear the water coming inside, that will be your cue to join the fight. And Jerry, I want you to see the train distance. I will give you a communication circle, you can inform me the distance of the train from the central plaza. Jerry. Roger. John. Understood, everyone, let's show the fruits of our training to these cult fools. Ruby. Yep, I would love to show them my new skills, let's all get out of here alive. Rex. Me tear them apart. Summer. Correct, I was anyway not a big fan of this cult business, let us all get out of here alive, I will not lose anyone that has been held dear to me. Naofumi. You guys, you all are doing this for my sake. Issei. Yup, we would not want you to die, not until you go back home and meet the people you care about. Naofumi was about to tear up, he then spoke. Naofumi. Thank you all. Naofumi realized that he could trust them with his life, without enslaving them, the others smiled at this, he was a part of their team, and there is no way Issei would let anyone die. After 3 hours, Issei and Ingvild left to infiltrate the central plaza without getting caught, after the next 3 hours John and the others left to get to their positions, leaving Naofumi alone waiting for them to show up. Flashback ends. Naofumi seemed to be walking when one of the townspeople tried to attack them, however the shadow used his superhuman speed and strength to not only take down the man that attacked him, but was also able to subdue him as well. The Dark Priest responded. Dark Priest. Sacrificium iterum nasir, et facud in eternum eris inimicum metro obscuri iterum, manifesta sum, hurt the sacrifice again, and I will make sure that you will be forever an enemy of the Dark Metro again, am I clear? Naofumi. Well, he at least cares for his sacrifice and makes sure they are in one piece. The Dark Priest's tone was of no nonsense, the man in question was fearful and left without question, before making one final glare to Naofumi Iwatani, before walking away, the other townspeople then gathered to see since the sacrifice was about to happen, Issei and Ingvild were also there, and that was when the final bell rang. Dark Priest. Salve, advenientibus ad sacrificium, dominum et salvadrum nostrum, cedo adveniat, adolescens, spero te ad ultimum sacrificium peritum. Welcome to those who are gathered here for the sacrifice, our Lord and Savior will be arriving very soon, young man, I hope you are ready for the final sacrifice. Naofumi nodded, the Dark Priest then motioned his shadows to begin the final preparations, the shadows will bring out a red and black box, which had the name of Naofumi Iwatani, since this time his name was mentioned earlier, and since he was next to the Dark Priest, there was no need for dragging him to the station. Naofumi. So what now? Dark Priest. Juvenis patientia, dominus et salvator noster, cedo adveniat, o et ibi est. Welcome Lord Dark Metro. Patience young man, our Lord and Savior will arrive soon, oh and there he is, welcome Lord Dark Metro. Scene change, but Issei and Ingvild, 15 minutes earlier. Issei and Ingvild were looking at the people that surrounded him, thankfully they were not detected by them, and they stayed quiet as any noise would expose them. Jerry kept sending signals to both Ruby and Issei. Jerry. The train is 20 miles away from the central plaza. Issei spoke quietly so as to not let others know about his presence. Issei. Keep up the good work, just inform me when it is at 5 miles distance. Jerry. Roger. Ingvild asked quietly. Ingvild. Do you think we will be alright? I am scared. Issei brought her closer, which made her blush. Issei. We will be fine, I promise that none of us will be dying tonight. Ingvild nodded in happiness, she is happy that she is someone whom she can trust. Jerry. 5 miles, the train is arriving soon. Issei. Go back to Ruby, Jerry, don't let yourself be detected, Ruby will hate herself if anything happens to you. Jerry. Understood. Jerry returned back since his job was done. Scene change, but Naofumi. The train sound was heard, and the train seemed to be running on the tracks, but in reality it was floating on the air, which seemed weird, but at this point everything weird is possible in this new dimension. The train then stopped and opened up the doors, and the Dark Priest then tells. Dark Priest. Intrit modo dominus noster, et te docebit ad salutum. Just step inside our Lord, and he will guide you to salvation. Naofumi. Wait, that's it. The Dark Priest nodded. That was when everyone present heard a voice too familiar. Issei. Now. Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker. Issei activated his balance breaker in the nick of time. It was red armor clad in green colored gems and had 2 dragon wings. Just like many times before, everyone looked in the armor in anger, but mostly fear, anger because he intervened their ritual, but fear because they saw the armor radiated massive power. Issei. Ingvild now. Ingvild. Understood. Sea Serpent of the End. Ingvild used her water powers catching everyone off guard. In a matter of seconds the whole city was being drowned. People were being sent flying from the sheer force of the water alone. Everyone was either drenched or drowned. Thankfully they were not dead, as Ingvild's main goal was to put them unconscious. The Dark Priest glared at Issei, while the shadows were ready to attack. Issei in a flash of speed grabbed Naofumi and took him out of there and brought him alongside Ingvild. Meanwhile with the others, 30 minutes ago, John, Ruby, Rex and Summer were preparing them for their attack. John had already activated his mechanical suit before. He was practicing his slashes, since Issei informed that light attacks can weaken the shadows and the Dark Priest itself, although it is unknown whether it would affect the Dark Metro as well. They had heard the bell indicating the train will be arriving shortly. Ruby prepared her weapon as well as the fire and electric dust to take down the Dark Priest itself. Summer was training Ruby to fight with her weapon. Summer. Ruby, think of your weapon as an extension of your own body, use it like it is your body part, do not think of it as a mere weapon with it, you should not only be able to fight longer, and with much more precision. Ruby. Okay mom, I will try my best, speaking of which how will you be able to fight, I never saw your weapon. Summer. In my time as an huntsman as well as MEG agent, I learned to fight even without a weapon, I prefer using a scythe that uses hard light dust. The weapon which Summer pulled out was a staff with a red dust crystal on the left side, it had golden rings on the black staff, 2 red inner groves at the top, as well as a small button on the top handle, acting as a switch. John. Mrs. Rose that seems like a staff. Summer. That's because it is currently on off mode. Summer then clicks the button and a red blade comes out from the red crystal. Summer twirls the blade in a cyclic manner, showing her prowess with the weapon. Summer. This baby uses hard light dust, unlike you my dear, I prefer close range combat, since this used hard light dust, once this thing goes off I will be needing to recharge this weapon. Summer turns the blade off, she then keeps the staff back and sees that her daughter has glowing eyes. Summer then sighs and speaks. Summer. Once we get out of here, I will let you hold the weapon. Ruby. YESSSS. Summer makes a wry smile, while John looks amused by Ruby's nature. Rex was also intrigued by the weapon that Summer had. That was when they saw that Jerry had come back, he informed. Jerry. Master Ruby, the Dark Metro has arrived. Ruby. Thank you, Jerry for your help. Jerry nodded and sat on Ruby's shoulder. Summer wondered how she was able to get an entity like Jerry's total loyalty. She assumed it was just like Issei getting Rex's loyalty. They then saw water coming out along with several people. John then spoke. John. That's our cue, let's go and rock this party. Everyone. Yup. You bet. They all rushed inside to join the others in the fight and saw that Issei, Naofumi and Ingvild were on one side, while the Dark Metro, the Dark Priest and the Shadows were on the other. All 3 sides were ready to fight. Scene change. But Issei, Ingvild and Naofumi. Issei had managed to successfully get out Naofumi from the clutches of the Dark Metro, the Dark Priest said. Dark Priest. Odds in rituali intercedier, T Vigantum. You dare intervene in the ritual you wander. The Dark Priest was furious about the ritual being interrupted and ruined by some mere teenagers. He then glared even more at Naofumi, as the shield hero smirked. Dark Priest. Et tu, numquam immolari velusti domino nostro, metro tenebri. Quomodo me inaptire odds, and you never wanted to be sacrificed for our lord, the Dark Metro, how dare you fool me. Naofumi. I never intended myself to be sacrificed to your stupid ritual, I want to get home, and I will get home, no matter the cost. Issei. Naofumi is right, we are going back, and we will destroy anyone that tries to get in our way, be it your stupid deity or even a god that is in our way. Dark Priest did not say much, he only spoke. Dark Priest. Oxidios, nunc interficios, kill them now. The shadows looked at him and telepathically asked whether he was sure they were intimidated by the power. Dark Priest. Facite, do it. The shadows understood and rushed at the trio at inhuman speeds. They started to fight. Even the Dark Metro joined the fight and tried to run over them. The Dark Priest then spoke. Dark Priest. Quaetatum cum the Dark Metro, solvent vitam swam, those who mess with the Dark Metro shall pay with their lives. The fight began. Issei then saw John and the others join in. He then spoke. Issei. Took you guys long enough. John. Yeah, sorry about that. So that seems to be the Dark Metro. It looks just like a regular train in my opinion. The Dark Metro was in the dark, with only its 2 eyes flashing at the gang. It was furious that its sacrifice was ruined by some mere kids, with barely any power, aside from that it looked like a normal train car, but that was the appearance it wanted any innocent wanderer to see. Once Issei flashed a light towards the entity, its true appearance was revealed, and it was horrifying. It had black eyes with red pupils instead of headlights, a black substance that makes up its interior, which is similar to that which makes up the shadows, seats and walls made of screaming human faces, various entrails and organs across the ground and along the walls, and even teeth. Ruby nearly was about to puke when she saw this true form of his. Even Summer and John were in complete shock and disgust. They were not comfortable seeing it. Ingvild was in complete shock and was unable to move. Rex was in pure fear, and he curled next to Issei. Well, Naofumi and Issei were alright. They had seen body entrails before in their experiences as a devil and shield hero respectively, so they were alright. Dark Priest. Ex vera domini nostri forma, vos guys es felix, verum viri formum testidus est, non querit hoc vidier. Behold the true form of our Lord, you guys are lucky to have witnessed its true form, is it not intriguing to see this? Issei then spoke. Issei. Guys, snap out of it, don't listen to him, I will handle the Dark Metro, Naofumi will join me, the shadows can be taken down, but be careful, the Dark Priest can keep summoning them, and they can move at superhuman speeds, and have superhuman durability, if anyone can take him down, the shadows will be vulnerable, and one more things, once the conductor calls us, we need to flee from here, since we interrupted their ritual this place may hate us. Everyone. Got it. Dark Priest. Stult hic perdis operum, accipias fatum tuum, et mox immolabris domino nostro, you fools you are wasting your time here, you should accept your fate and just let yourself be sacrificed to our Lord. Issei. I am getting out of here with my friends alive and there is nothing wrong in trying. Issei and Naofumi taunted the Dark Metro, which the hulking beast fell for and rushed to them, the others went to fight against the Dark Metro. But Issei and Naofumi saw the hulking beast, although they were not uncomfortable with its presence, they needed to take the beast down at all costs. Issei knew that he would need to begin the chant of Cardinal Crimson promotion. Issei. I, who is about to awaken, am the Red Dragon Emperor who has discarded the principles of domination. I shall walk the road of righteousness by having infinite hopes and dreams. I shall become the king of Crimson Dragon, and I promise you all. I shall show you the future which shines in true crimson light. The boosted gear then announced. Reg. Mode change. Queen. Issei entered into his crimson armor, the same armor that had once managed to take down and defeat Angela, the glitched goddess. They looked on as they were ready to fight. Naofumi had readied his shield. Issei then spoke. Issei. Are you guys ready to take this guy down? Naofumi. You bet. Greg. Give him hell, don't hesitate to release me if you need any help. L. Drake is correct, I will also help in taking him down for good. The Dark Metro roared in anger at the duo. Issei got ready for the fight. He and Naofumi looked at each other and smirked. They have fought against bigger and harder before, and they survived, and they will survive this as well. Issei went into his speed form which was faster than before, shocking the Dark Metro entity. Star Sonic Booster. Issei then smashed into the left hole of the Dark Metro, making it cough up more entrails on the side, making it stagger. It tried to lunge at Issei with a fire attack, but Naofumi got in the way with his shield. His training with Kenshi has paid off, making him much quicker and faster to react. Hyper Chimera Shield. Two snakes came and bit the Dark Metro, but it did not do much, given that it was resistant to poison. It attacked Naofumi, reeling it backwards. Issei caught him, but the force was staggering enough, forcing Issei to enter his Rook form. Solid Impact Booster. Issei entered into this form and managed to stop the force, however this allowed the Metro to slam itself into them, making them, breaking some of Issei's faceplate and nearly breaking Naofumi's skull. Issei. Naofumi, are you alright? Naofumi. Yeah, that bastard nearly fractured my skull, we need to find a way to permanently take him down. Issei. Drake, we are gonna need you, you wanna take a swing at this guy? Drake. I do not mind, besides I have been itching for a proper fight. Let's rock this party, partner. Issei. You know it, summon. Dragon Release. Issei's boosted gear transformed into his 2.0 version, which enhanced his Cardinal Crimson Queen mode. The power was enough to make even the gods shiver in fear. Drake was summoned to fight against the Dark Metro, which made the Dark Metro shiver in fear. Drake. It's been a long time since I got into a fight, I hope you won't disappoint me, Dark Metro. The Dark Metro glared at him and attacked, but Drake was no pushover. He was skilled in fighting. After all, he simultaneously fought against a Dark Metro, with Issei using Fire Salt this time. He enhanced it with his boost ability. He then threw them at the Dark Metro. Issei then screamed. Issei. Explosion. The enhanced Fire Salt exploded at the Dark Metro, dealing severe damage to it. Drake used his own flames on the Dark Metro, enhancing the damage. Naofumi had activated his Wrath Shield. He used the ability Burn on them, destroying most of the body of the Metro, making it struggle in pain for the very first time. The Dark Metro struggled for the very first time. Dark Metro. Oog. Issei. It's only going to get worse for you, ugly. Drake. It is unfortunate for me that I cannot use my signature move Blazing Inferno of Scorching Flames, otherwise this would have been an easy win for us. Issei. Is that the ability that made you fear among the gods? Reg. Indeed, this is the ability that was known to burn to such an extent that it made gods fear us. It was capable of burning endlessly to an extent that even their souls are destroyed. My rival Albion had something similar as well, which was a poison he called Reduce, which was also on the same level as that. Nafumi. That's just broken, it's no wonder you two were feared. Drake huffed with a sense of pride, but then he saw that the metro was regenerating its wounds. It then summoned several zombie-like entities that attacked the trio. Drake was effortlessly burning them with ease with its flames. Issei and Nafumi were on the struggle against them, since they were too many in number. Bell then spoke telepathically. Bell. Ice, I would suggest to use my abilities as well. Issei. Alright, enlighten me, Milady. Bell. Very funny, anyways the ability I was about to inform you is that I can summon skeletons to do my bidding. The move is called Graveyard, this allows me to summon them to my bidding. Issei. Then why did you not use them against me in our fight? Bell. Kind of pointless, you would have just destroyed them easily and effortlessly. Bell just shrugged nonchalantly. Issei sighed and yelled. Issei. Graveyard. Bell spoke from the boosted gear. Skeleton summon. Issei. Now what? Bell. Dummy, give them a command, they are all yours, my dear. Issei. Go and fight and take the Dark Metro down. The skeleton warriors charged into the battle. They were having a fraction of Issei's power, but were still quite resilient. They were being able to fight against a Dark Metro. The ones that could fly were easily having the aerial advantage. One of the skeletons tugged at Issei. It was a child skeleton, Bell telepathically said. Bell. That's the skeleton of a child. It must have met the same fate as the other innocent victims. Issei looked at the skeleton in pity. He then spoke. Issei. You can stay here, Larry, just enjoy the fight. Larry nodded. Bell then spoke. Bell. Larry, quite an interesting name, I am happy that you have such a good heart. Issei heard and smiled. He then glared at the Dark Metro for hurting such innocent people for its own sadistic pleasure. He then charged into the fray after helping Nafumi take out the zombified victims. Together they were making staggering progress towards the Dark Metro, making it push back for a while. Its regeneration was however a constant source of problem, and it constantly charged, destroying many of the warriors with ease. It went after Larry, but Drake held on the train with his own strength and gave a uppercut, breaking the lower abdomen. Drake. Are you alright, little one? Larry nodded. Drake then grinned to show that he is strong to make sure that the child felt safe. He then glared at the Dark Metro and roared. Drake. Going after a mere child, that's low even for you, take this. Drake then used Flame Blaze, burning most of the body with ease. It started to regenerate once again, but the damage by everyone's effort seemed to be taking a toll on it. Nafumi. I have an idea, but this will hurt. Issei. Go ahead. Issei had stopped summoning warriors as this would only drain his energy. Nafumi then continued. Nafumi. Iron Maiden is not my strongest ability, it's actually blood sacrifice. Issei. I don't like the sound of that. Bell. Me too, it seems to unnerve me as well. Are you sure you want to use that ability, Nafumi? Nafumi. Yeah, but worry not, I will survive, but it would hurt me as well. Drake, how strong are your flames for now? Drake. Strong enough to cause permanent damage. Nafumi. That's all I need now. Blood sacrifice. Nafumi's wrath shield glowed, but immediately after blood started to come out, Issei immediately rushed to him. He screamed. Issei. Why the hell did you do that for? Nafumi. It was the only way. Issei. Is there anything we can do? Bell. Use almond water, boost it to super level status, you should be able to use it to numb the pain. As for the wounds, it should take some time, but there would be a curse that would weaken his defenses, but do it fast, he is fading fast. Belle's voice was filled with worry. Given the undead queen she is, she can sense life and death. She knew that Issei would hate himself if he failed to save Nafumi. Larry then tugged on Issei's cape. Issei. What? Larry fell back. Issei realized what he did and responded. Issei. Sorry, I was just not in the right mood, is there anything you want? Larry pointed to his blood. Issei responded. Issei. Yeah, that's his blood, and wait, is it moving? Belle. It seems so, I think I know what is going to happen next. Issei. Is it big? Belle. Well yes, let's just say we are going to see the real power of the blood sacrifice. Issei looked as the blood compassed into a giant blood monster, which the Dark Metro grasped into its teeth. It was intending to crush the Dark Metro. Drake, who had seen everything, decided now would be the time to destroy the Dark Metro. Issei was focused on feeding Nafumi almond water, which the shield hero was able to consume properly. He had enough strength to drink. The blood monster started to crush the Dark Metro, coupled with Drake using his strongest fire breath to destroy the entity once and for all. Eventually the Dark Metro was unable to handle the strength of the monster, coupled with Drake burning the Dark Metro. The monster was able to crush the Dark Metro into broken pieces, destroying the entity for good. Once the blood monster disappeared, it revealed the crushed and burnt metro on the ground. It had stopped moving, and the eyes had stopped glowing. The dark metro had been finally beaten for good. Larry went into the ground once this was over. It knew that it and many other souls would finally achieve peace. For the victims this monster had taken, Issei knew that he deserved some rest. And he carried Naofumi on his back. Since the man was unable to move, he looked to see the fight between the dark priest and the others coming to an end. Scene change. With John and the others, 30 minutes earlier. John had transformed into his mechanical suit which was glowing in color. He and the others destroyed many of the shadows, but more were constantly being summoned by the dark priest. He then rushed to the dark priest, but the priest used his shadows, and they pushed John back. He then spoke. Dark priest. Salvum ts potes, said Ridu perdido moris omnes, you may have saved him, but you all will die for ruining the ritual. John. We need to get closer in order for us to defeat him. The shadows are getting in the way. We need to find a way to take him down, for good. Ruby. I think I might have a way. Remember our initiation with Kenshi. John. Wait, alright, I think this might work. Ingvild, can you also distract him? Ingvild. Consider it done. Ingvild used her water magic to drench the floor, while Ruby used her ice dust freezing the water in place, trapping the dark priest and his shadows. John, Rex and Summer go after them, with Summer and Rex easily killing the shadows with ease, while John slashed the priest. His sword glowed a blue color, and he used it on the priest. The priest was affected by the light alone, and the slash was enough to send him flying, breaking the ice into the rubble. The priest woke up dazed. He then looked at the blood monster crushing the dark metro, along with the dragon burning it. He then spoke with worry. Dark priest. Domini me. My lord. The dark priest rushed to the area once he heard the suffering of the dark metro at the hands of the two unknown creatures. However, he was stopped by John. John. You ain't going nowhere. The dark priest tried to distract them, but he could see the blood monster crushing its lord. His head started to grow in pain since the dark metro was getting crushed, and eventually it stopped. The dark priest looked in horror as the dark metro was dead, burnt and destroyed as it stopped moving. It could not sense its commands or its presence anymore. He then said, Dark priest. No mihi domini, no my lord. The dark priest tried to rush, however he saw that John had rushed to him with his sword intact. He was followed by Ruby and Summer, both their weapons meant for close combat. John then slashed into the dark priest multiple times, destroying most of his body, with ease. John. Atomic slash. The priest was sent flying to Ruby and Summer, who used their scythes and twirled them in a cyclonic manner, destroying most of his cloak and body. Rex clawed his stomach, and Ingvild used several of her water dragons to add even more pressure to the dark priest, drowning him and taking him out of the fight. John powered down his suit, and Summer deactivated her scythe. Ruby turned the crescent rose and put it back. While Ingvild sat on the ground, she was exhausted as well. Issei eventually joined them with Naofumi on his back. John then asked about the situation, which Issei informed them everything, shocking them. He told them that he would be alright. That's when they got a call from the conductor. Issei. Hello. Conductor. Yes sir, the train has been fixed, you can come back now, we will be leaving shortly. Issei. Okay. Issei disconnected the phone. He then spoke. Issei. Guys, I got a call from the conductor, we can go back now. John. Thank the stars, I can get out of here now. Ruby. Yep, with the dark metro destroyed and the dark priest down, we should be able to escape. Issei. You said that the priest was down, right? Ruby. Yeah. Issei. Then what is he doing? Everyone noticed that he was chanting something. He then ended the word saying, Dark priest. Vindica me vindica dominum meum, avenge me, avenge my lord. The dark priest dropped dead. All of a sudden several shadows were summoned. With Naofumi injured, they could not fight. Issei noticed the summoning and said one thing. Issei and the others used their speed abilities to rush. Issei was in Sonic Star Booster, Ruby and Summer used their semblances, and John activated his suit, increasing his speed. Summer grabbed Ingvild while John grabbed Rex. Jerry clung to Ruby for support as they all rushed to the train location. There they could see several people joining them. They were all chasing the gang as they wanted them dead for killing their lord and savior. Kill them, murderers. You killed our lord, pay the price. Destroy them. Issei then contacted the conductor and asked him to start the train. Once they were at the station, the conductor saw this and immediately started the train, which started in no time. Issei and the others rushed in. Once they did, they closed the door. Thankfully only the shadows were able to catch him, since the people were all unable to do so. They then sat inside the train happy that they all were able to get out of here alive and safe. Scene break. Chapter 21. A well-deserved break. The metro, 10:30 p.m. Issei was trying to apply first aid to Naofumi's wounds, who was unconscious due to the blood sacrifice. He was unable to wake up for a while. Summer then asked, Summer. How is his condition? Issei. Stable, but the damage to his body is severe. Damn it, if only I was stronger, none of this would have happened. Issei clenched his fists. Summer then spoke. Summer. Don't beat yourself eyes, look on the bright side, everyone is alive because of your plan and the training MEG put us through. Not to mention only Nafumi is injured, the others are still fine and well, and they are currently recovering their strength. Issei. But, Summer. No buts, Issei, I understand the burden of being a leader, after all I was the leader of Team STRQ, I don't know if I still am, I had the responsibility to take care of all 4 of them, and let me tell you it was a hassle. So it's alright you make mistakes, you learn from them, don't push yourself, you have done enough. Issei nods, he looks to see Ingvild, John and Ruby having a normal conversation relating to their home worlds, while Rex and Jerry were fast asleep. John. So Ingvild, can you tell us more about the Leviathan clan? Ingvild. Although I don't know much I will tell you whatever I know. We were one of the 4 original Satan clans, alongside Lucifer, Beelzebub and Asmodeus. We were initially a part of heaven till God cast us out making us today what everyone calls a devil. After that the Great War began killing many of us, which were angels, fallen and devils. I was a half-blood, born from a human mage, and a devil from the Leviathan clan. Half-bloods are generally discriminated among the devil society, so as a result my parents sent me to the human world. After a few years I fell into a coma which resulted them in sending me back to the Leviathan clan, and they kept me hidden from everyone, till my coma was fixed. Once I woke up, I clipped into the floor and entered here. After that I was able to move through the levels. I was lucky to not have encountered many entities. After that I met you guys on level 7, and the rest is history. Ingvild finished with a deep breath, while John and Ruby were intrigued by the story. Issei had told them his world was filled with pure blood supremacy and feared and hated any half-bloods that were stronger than them. Ruby then told her side of the story, which was pretty much her childhood and her past. She joined Beacon Academy where she met John. After becoming good friends, they went on many missions. However, the transcript reveal ruined everything and Yang, her older half-sister, turned against her when she helped John. They then ran and fell into level 0, where they met Issei on level 2. Ingvild. So I take it your lives have changed after you met Issei. Ruby. Yep, we would not have been alive if it was not for him. John. Indeed, I would have ended up as a partygoer if it was not for them saving me and killing that damn partyist. Ingvild. We are all together as one team because of him, so I think we should do something. I will tell when he is not listening. They all look at Issei, who immediately turned his head away when he noticed them. Ingvild had a snarl on her face, while Summer chuckled. That is when the conductor came, he then spoke. The conductor. Sir, once again I am sorry for what had happened and Issei. Don't blame yourself, we were brought there by someone, and he will pay, so is there a safe level after this? The conductor nodded and responded. The conductor. Indeed, I think you must have heard of sub-levels, right? Issei. What are those? Reg. Sub-levels are levels that lie between 2 levels. There is one known as level 8.1, which lies between levels 8 and 9. It is not easy to access these levels, and some are very hard to get through. The conductor. True, but that is not the level we are going to. The level we are going to is level 6.1, also known as the snack rooms. Issei. The snack rooms. Ruby rushed on hearing the word snack, she then asked the conductor. Ruby. Snacks, where is it? Where is it? The conductor was amused, he then spoke. The conductor. We will be arriving there shortly, just wait for 5 more minutes. A few moments later. Ruby. Are we there yet? Everyone. No. 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 A few moments of silence has been noticed, then Ruby spoke. Ruby. Are we there yet? Everyone. No. Summer tried to speak, but John stopped her. John, I got this, Miss Rose. John walked to her and spoke. John. Hey Ruby, how about you stay silent, we will reach in 2 minutes. Once the train stops you will get as much food as you want, but if you say one word till the train does not stop, we will make sure you will not get any cookies. Ruby nodded, she did not want to lose her cookies, she stayed quiet for the rest of the trip, which was 2 minutes, long enough to even make her stay quiet. The conductor then announced. The conductor. We have arrived at level 6.1, I hope you guys enjoy your ride. Ruby was the first to get up and she stood up. Issei carried Nafumi on his back since he was out cold. Given the blood sacrifice, after drinking the almond water, he had passed out due to the pain. He was followed by the others. The conductor. Oh, one more thing, there are rooms where you can make him rest. I do not know how long he will take to wake up, so you can rest. In addition to that, there is a variant of almond water called almond juice. You can make him feed that once he wakes up, it will help him recover from the curse. Issei. Oh, thanks for the information. The conductor. Not a problem, sir, after all I am kind of responsible for getting you to the dark metro level, so it is the least I could do. The metro then opened up its doors. The train station seemed to be that of similar to level 11. Ruby jumped down the train with the others following suit. The train station seemed to be similar to that of the ones found in Images of America. Ruby. So where do we guys go from here? Issei. Well, let's first find a hotel room to make sure he gets proper rest, we can have our fun afterwards. John. Issei, what brands are here? I just hope that Pumpkin Pete is not here. Issei. It might, since Remnant is technically considered to be that of front rooms, although that's kind of specific. May I know why you hate that brand? John. No reason. Issei wanted to know but he did not press, it must have been something bad. He looked at Ruby, who gave the "I will tell you later" expression. Issei nodded in confirmation and he found a hotel which he went to. He released Nafumi onto the bed, who was sleeping. He then asked, Issei. Is there anyone that would like to volunteer to look after him? If not, then I don't mind doing it. Summer. I will. Ruby. Mom, are you sure? Summer. I don't mind looking after him. Ruby, you guys go enjoy, alright. Issei. Let me know if he wakes up or you need anything. Summer nods in confirmation. They then leave the duo who were inside the room. Ruby then asks, Ruby. Issei, are you sure this level is safe? Issei. As safe as level 11, not to mention this level is a sort of celebration to those who have managed to leave level 6 unharmed. Think of it as a party for those that escape the darkness of level 6. Ingvild. Ice, what restaurants are there? Issei. There are a lot. I will not go into the detail because there is a huge number, but there is every food present here, every single type of food from continental to Japanese to American to Indian, they are all here. You can eat to your heart's content and some food is even free in this level. There are sweets, snacks, spicy food, special backrooms food, you name it. Hey. Greg, are there dragon apples here, like in our world? Greg. I do not know, and even if it was there, it must have not been documented yet, considering not a lot of people like them. L. I have never had human food, I would love to have them. Issei. If you want to I can get some and we can have in our rooms, since people might recognize you and fear you for your past actions. Or you can wear some disguise change into a more modern style, and then we can move. L. I see, I don't mind eating in the room, besides everything you see and experience even I as well experience. Issei. Okay, sounds fine to me, what is your favorite food? L. I usually don't have a preference, but I think I will start with cookies, since that is Ruby's favorite. Ruby. Yeah, I will show you what I like, let's go. Everyone nodded. If there is anyone that is excited about food it would be Ruby, and besides, most of them have not had anything besides royal rations, which left only one after they all took one since the breakfast they had at level 11. They then looked across a sweet shop which was named Snack Time. Issei noticed a smiler, but before he could react, Drake talked to him telepathically. Greg. That smiler is not hostile partner. Issei. Are you sure? Greg. Yep, it seems to have the level 11 effect. You can go inside and ask him what he needed to buy. Issei entered the shop where he saw the smiler greet them. This confused them as smilers are known to be hostile, although it did not talk much, but it pointed to a sign that read save them when necessary. Ruby then picked up a full packet of cookies, while John and the others ended up taking chips and many other snacks. Since they do not know which level they would be next, they kept it inside their bag. They had already finished off most of the royal rations, leaving only one which Issei saved for Belle. Thankfully, when head in limits, royal rations are not addicting. They had mostly filled their snack and food sections with snacks and they paid the amount to the smiler. The smiler pointed at the machine, which noted $600. Issei and the others paid $150 each and they all left the room. The backpacks that they had were all similar to that of a travel backpack which lets them store a lot of stuff inside. Issei. Alright, the snacks are done, we will need this for future levels, although we might be out of almond water. Greg. That's not a problem, partner, head to the shop that says the liquid diet. There you would not only get almond water, but also its variations almond juice. In addition to that there are other drinks like Coke, Pepsi and many more present. Those that enjoy a drink you can go there, you would enjoy that place. Issei noticed there were vending machines everywhere. This is indeed a food plaza for those that come here. Some even had no money required to pay for the food. Issei. Wow, free food, this is amazing, isn't that right, John? John. Oh, yeah. John had been spacing out ever since he had come here. Issei then asked. Issei. Is something wrong? John points out to a cereal that Ingvild was holding in her hands. It was a pumpkin Pete cereal with a red-haired woman's face on it. She looked awfully like Rias, minus the fact that she was in a Spartan costume. Ingvild immediately kept the cereal inside her bag. Issei understood who this was. She must be one of them that tormented John back in Beacon. This thing must have brought those memories to him. Issei. That woman, you know her, right? John nods weakly. Issei now was getting angry, not at John, at this unnamed person. He then asked. Issei. Who is she? Before John could answer, Ruby beat him to that and spoke. Ruby? That is Pura Nikos. Issei. Issei. The same bitch that betrayed and exposed your transcripts. Sorry for my language. John nodded. Issei could only feel pity for this man. When your own partner betrays you for her own reputation always stings, he then said. Issei. John, forget people like Pura, they do not deserve you not after they have been betrayed by you, we will be with you till the bitter end, or at the very least I will be. Ruby. Issei is right, don't remember her, let's enjoy this level for the joys it has. Ingvild. Correct, do not remember them and if they do come, we will trash them if they come here. John thought for a while, he looked down when he was tapped by Ruby, he then looked up to see the smiling faces of his true friends, the only people that truly cared for him, he knew that this is his new life, and he knew that he must get home, so that he can live a peaceful life, he smiled, knowing that those people will never get back what they have discarded and thrown like garbage. Issei. Alright, enough of that terrible past stingy, let's find a restaurant so we can eat our dinner. I want to have pizza, it has been a while that I have had pizza. John. True, my parents never let me have them, since you know I was the weakest. Issei. Blasphemy, you will be having pizza today for dinner. Greg. It would be better if we can have it with Coke, that would be amazing. Issei. True, I have missed having good food. Belle. You humans keep having such interesting food, I would love to try them all, but I cannot come to have everything here. Issei. We can continue once we reach our world. Belle. Alright Ice. Belle chuckles at Issei mentally, Issei knew he had a handful, but he did not mind, while Drake grunted in disbelief. They then proceed to move to a restaurant pizza zone, which was quite far compared to the others. Where they sat and ordered for pizza and Coke. Issei and the others ordered one pizza each, which was surprisingly cheap compared to what they brought in the real world, it only costed $75 per pizza, which surprised everyone, usually pizza is a lot in their worlds, they consumed their dinner and paid for it, they then went back to the hotel rooms. Issei. Tomorrow, let us meet at our own leisure time, I will give this to Summer and Nafumi. John. But won't this pizza get soggy? Issei. That's the best part about level 6.1 any food that is cold, stays cold, and any food that stays hot will be hot, although these effects go away once you exit this level. Ruby. So my cookies won't get rotten as long as I stay here. Issei. Yep, Ruby. Yippee, best level ever. John kept his hand on her mouth, he spoke. John. Ruby, you might wake up the others. Ruby calmed down and apologized. Ruby. Sorry. John and the others sighed, thankfully no one woke up, Issei and the others said their goodbyes, and they went back to their rooms. Issei was with Rex, he had enjoyed his Coke, since this was the first thing he had aside from juice or almond water after that. He immediately went off to sleep since he was exhausted because of his fight against the Dark Metro and the Dark Priest. Level 6.1, 1 AM. Issei was awake, he was wondering how far he had gotten since he had come here, he still remembered the once optimistic pervert that he was before he left from level 1, determined to get back, he remembered how his personality has changed from being someone that would use the power of Oppai to win, from using his own strength and tenacity to win fights. I mean sure he used fists to win fights, but he never went that far to the point of even brutal torture. He was snapped out of his thoughts by Ingvild. Ingvild. Unable to sleep, Ice. Issei. Oh hi, I'm sorry if I disturbed you, and yes I am unable to go to sleep, I have a lot in my mind. Ingvild sat closer to him, she really was worried since she truly cared for him, she still remembered how he mercilessly killed Raynare, but she deserved it, she would have hurt the people he cares about just like she did to Asia, although she did not know much about her, she was important to Issei, and that's what mattered. Ingvild. You can tell me, Ice, I will love to hear them, you don't need to keep it in me. Issei. Yeah, just thinking on how far I have come, I was once a happy-go-lucky pervert, and now look I am a leader, I have the responsibility of ensuring my team's survival, no matter the cost I am just tensed on how are we gonna make it out alive and Ingvild. Ice, let me tell you one thing, you brought us together, you made the team what it is today, if we haven't met you, we would have been stranded or killed or worse turned into an entity like an hound or a partygoer. We have been together because of you as a team, as a family, you gave John a reason to live for, made Ruby happy, showed Nafumi that he can have faith once again, let Miss Rose meet her long-lost daughter, and finally as for me, gave me someone to live and fight for and showed me how to live life. I could not have asked someone better than you to lead us, not to mention you released Drake from his imprisonment by giving him a new body, let Belle come into this world, showed Rex any sort of love, and treated Jerry with respect. Drake and Belle nodded in agreement, as for Rex he had been sleeping soundly, Issei had indeed given them a new life, Issei then spoke with gratitude. Issei. Thank you Haim, no Ingvild, I needed someone to take care of me, so if it is alright with you, can we like go out on a date tomorrow if it is alright. Ingvild's cheeks heated up for a while, she then spoke in a low tone. Ingvild. I would love to, I would love to be your girlfriend. Issei smiled genuinely, he then responded. Issei. Great, let's go to sleep. Ingvild nodded happily, she then grabbed Issei, and they both slept together, with them holding each other protectively, and they slept happily. Meanwhile in John and Ruby's room, unlike in Issei's room where happiness was inbound, John was not having that much luck, he was having an intense nightmare as he struggled and twirled across the bed. John's nightmare. John seemed to be walking across Beacon. He noticed the glares across the academy. As he was walking across the cafeteria, he noticed Ruby was absent along with several of the teachers. "Hey vomit boy." The voice seemed to be of a yellow-haired woman, wearing a tan jacket that bears her midriff, with golden brown piping and short puffy sleeves with black cuffs that feature 2 gold buttons. Underneath this, she wears a low-cut yellow crop top with her on the left breast in black. She also wore a brown belt covered by a pleated brown piece of material, reaching from hip to hip around the back of her waist, with her emblem emblazoned on the rightmost pleat in gold. Underneath this is a long, white asymmetrical piece of material reaching to her knee on the right side, as well as a pair of tight black spandex compression shorts that reach her upper thighs. She wears a pair of brown, knee-high boots and orange over-the-knee socks, with the right sock pushed down just below the knee. A gray bandana is tied around her left knee. In volume 2, she wears a purple bandana around the same knee. An orange infinity scarf and black fingerless gloves complete her outfit. John was punched in the stomach by as she looked at him in pure hatred. John then spoke. "John. What do you want, Yang?" Yang responded with anger and kneed him in the stomach. "Yang. You're the reason that my sister hates me and." John cuts her off and speaks with whatever strength he had. "John. Don't blame me for that, your anger did that to her and." John was unable to complete as Yang began relentlessly beating on him. Constantly, he screamed in pain. Eventually all that was left was a bloodied mess. No one came to help him, some even joined in the beatings. Everyone including his own team looked and scowled. He recognized a orange-haired girl in a casual costume, a black-haired boy in a Chinese-style costume, and finally a red-haired in a Spartan costume. "John. What do you guys want?" Brand punched him, but he took it. It was his daily beating after all. Nora went in, but was stopped by Pura. "Pura. I can't believe I fell in love with a faker like you and." John chuckled much to their shock and anger. He responded. "John. Keep lying to yourself. Yes, I faked my way into Beacon, but at least I did not betray you, you fucking retard slut. All you can do is just yell, 'Invincible girl my ass, you are nothing but a disgraceful traitor. You never loved me, you only say that to satiate your ego, but in the end you are nothing but a coward and an attention seeker like the rest who cared for their own reputation rather than humanity. I hope you burn just like the rest of Beacon.'" This is the first time they saw John's anger. Pura was not having any of it and stabbed John in the stomach due to anger. She watched in horror because of her actions, as he coughed up blood. "Pura. No, what have I done?" John coughed up blood and responded. "John. Hehehehe, I hope you are proud of yourself, you just proved everything I said. Now go and portray yourself as the invincible hero." "Pura. No." John dropped dead much to the horror of his former team. He then woke up to see a man in the clouds. Such anger, such despair, you must have gone through a lot thanks to those bastards. It is honestly sickening to see people judge a person based on mere papers. You have no one in your life. John looked up weakly, he seemed familiar. "John. Who are you?" "I am known by many names, the creator, the enemy of MEG, the fallen angel, entity 666, but my true name is the redacted watcher." John looked in horror as he saw the redacted watcher in person. He needed to keep his guard up since this entity is known to be one of the strongest and the most vile entities in the backrooms. He did not have the strength to beat him, at least not alone. "John. What do you want from me?" The redacted watcher. "I want to give you power, the desire to take vengeance on all that has wronged you, Team WBY, Team JNPR, the ARC family, I can give you everything." "John. But there is a catch, right?" The redacted watcher. "Indeed there is, all you have to do is murder your former friends including your leader. He has been getting in the way of my plans. He murdered 2 of my allies, Angela, the glitched goddess and the dark metro. I want to say hi to dead. I tried killing him myself, but he always escaped, so what's it gonna be, John Arc?" John looks for a moment, he then says. "John. As much as I would like to have vengeance, to turn the people who have tormented me into dust, I would have to reject your offer." The redacted watcher looks in surprise. Usually people go behind when they see such power, but he outright refused. The redacted watcher was starting to lose his patience. The redacted watcher. "Think this through, boy." John smiled in response. He looked at the watcher in no fear, much to his anger. "John. I said no to your offer. I would never turn on Ruby and Issei and my other friends. I would die for their sake. You can take the offer and give it to someone who is a sociopath, who does not care for their friends. I have made my choice. Now get out of my mind." The redacted watcher. "You shall regret this, boy. I will control your body and hurt your rose-haired girl, then I will go after Issei and betray him and make him watch while I murder all of his friends. Then I will kill him. You will watch everything and you cannot do anything. Last chance to take up my offer." The redacted watcher tried to break John. He was the controller of the backrooms, however John was not fazed. No, he was angry. How dare he threaten his first friend and the people he cares about. "John. Heh, you really are the Satan here, but no, you made one mistake, you underestimated us, you think that we are your pawns, you're slaves in a stupid game of cat and mouse, well the strong survives, the weak perishes, but not anymore, this is my mind, I make the rules here, not you. You dared to threaten my friends, the people I cared about, my first friend, I will never bow to someone like you, now get out of my mind. The redacted watcher was losing control of the connection. He struggled when he started to see his body was getting disintegrated from John's mind. John glared at the man as he was dissipated into nothingness. He tried to scream to regain the control once again, but failed. He was eventually kicked out of his mind. Nightmare end. The next day. John's room, level 6.1, 9:30 am. John woke up. He looked at the side to see a worried Ruby. She then asked, "Ruby? John, what happened? I saw you were twirling and turning around the bed, what happened?" John put his hand around Ruby. The redacted watcher was wrong. He has people to care about. He was not alone. He was never alone. He gave Ruby head pats to assure that he is fine. He then spoke. "John. Just had a nightmare, it is alright, I had a nightmare about the beacon, but worry not, I am out of danger." Ruby hugged him. She was worried about his status ever since they came here. He then thought. "John. Honestly, I have a feeling that it is just the beginning. I need to tell this to the others before it is too late, but for now we need to have fun. This is our break. I might take Ruby to a cake show so she can enjoy herself." Scene break. Chapter 21.5. A well-deserved break. Date start. John and Ruby had gotten dressed up to meet up with the others. John wanted to tell what had happened in his nightmare as soon as possible. He caught up with Ingvild and Issei who were outside and wondered what had happened. They all went inside to Nafumi's room once they were done, only to see him lying on the bed comfortably once his wounds had become more stable. "Nafumi. What happened?" "Issei. You passed out after using blood sacrifice. The move took you out completely, you slept entirely for the ride, and after that you woke up here." "Nafumi. W. Which level are we in?" "Issei. Level 6.1, the snack rooms, one of the safest levels, oh and by the way your dinner is kept there." "Nafumi. But wouldn't it be soggy and cold by now?" "Issei. Nope. This level has an anomalous effect that any food that is made here does not get rotten or spoiled. In addition to that, any food that was warm will stay warm and any food that was cold will stay cold." "Summer. Yup, I can confirm, the pizza I had was still hot and Issei brought it normally, I enjoyed every single moment of the pizza." "Nafumi. Alright if you say so." "Issei. Hey Belle, mind checking his vitals and status conditions?" "Belle. Sure, just bring the gauntlet close to his body." Issei did what Belle asked him to do. She then surveyed his body and spoke. "Belle. Your body is healing quite rapidly, much faster than a regular human. Normally I would say to rest for 3 full days, but you will make a full body recovery in just a few hours itself. I am quite surprised." "Nafumi. Huh, I guess my vitality has improved. Neat, alright, I will rest for some more hours, but first let me have something, I haven't had anything since hours." "Issei. Alright, you can take care of yourself, right?" Nafumi nodded. Issei then spoke. "Issei. Hey guys, what breakfast you guys want? Like I said before, we can have anything." "Ruby. Issei is right, I had pizza and coke yesterday and I enjoyed every single moment of it." "Summer. Alright, let's all go outside and have some food, sounds good." Everyone minus Nafumi nodded. They all then went outside. They knew that they could leave Nafumi alone, since this level is relatively safe, devoid of any hostile entities. Even the ones that are commonly viewed as hostile are friendly here, so they can leave knowing that nothing will happen to him. Streets, level 6.1, 10:30 am. Issei and the others walked through the streets where they could find a good restaurant to have their breakfast. They did not have to worry about Nafumi, since he will have pizza and coke for breakfast. Honestly, it is still surprising to see that the food will stay the way they are no matter what. Issei. So guys, any ideas for what breakfast we want? Ingvild. I want to go for some American, never had those in a while. Ruby. Sweets. John. I will go for some Indian, I never heard of this cuisine before, it never existed in Remnant after all. Summer. And I will have anything, although I prefer sweets, I think I will have anything you kids decide upon. Brax and Jerry agreed with what Summer said. They did not mind having much. Ruby had purchased sunflower seeds since she knew that Jerry liked them, so she decided to care for him as much as she would do for a pet. While Issei would feed Rex almond water since it was the dollface's favorite, they then decided to have American since Indian seemed to be too spicy even for them. They head to this restaurant called Hungry 2GO, where they saw that there were many food that was being served, from burgers, french fries, fizzy drinks, hot dogs, etc. Issei and the others brought their food, while John, who decided to sit on a chair, sat, but when he did, something unfamiliar was heard. Ruby. Ugh John, that's disgusting. John was embarrassed when he heard that, he never did it. Issei decided to play along and say. Issei. Wow, looks like someone has some bad tummy since morning. John. Issei, it's not what it looks like. Ingvild. John, I would have got you something to drink to ease your stomach, you could have told us. Summer. Your health is important, so please consider that next time, John. John. Not you too, Miss Rose, I didn't do it. John sulked down, while Issei was barely holding their laughter, he then spoke. Issei. I know it isn't, wait let me show you. Issei then pulls out a small whoopee cushion underneath John's seat, he then spoke. Issei. Child fastlings here have a tendency to prank you like this, I know you have a good tummy, so worry not, oh and by the way there he is. Issei pointed at the glass window where he saw the child fastling taunting them, John grabbed his sword and went after the child, but was stopped by Issei. Issei. Relax, I got this. Issei summoned a skeleton from behind the child fastling, it tugged on the fastling scaring it, the next thing everyone heard was a traumatizing scream, before they could see the child fastling running away in fear, after that Issei unsummoned the skeleton and asked John to go back to the seat, which he did satisfied by what he saw. John had ordered for fried chicken, Issei had ordered for burger, which Ingvild did the same, Ruby a hot dog, and Summer some vegetable salad. The order took some time and after which it came. Issei had also ordered 2 additional burgers for the guys inside his sacred gear so that they can also have their fun. He did this with pizza, and with the assimilate ability he was able to get them inside, they dug into their meal and enjoyed it. John. Guys, I need to tell you something, it is kind of important, you need to hear it, especially you Issei. Issei. Why, what's the matter? John. Well, it is about the nightmare I had today. Ruby. I know you had a nightmare about Beacon, you only rarely have those, so why did you get them all of a sudden? John. It is because someone wanted me to give it to them. I met the redacted watcher in my dreams. Everyone started to panic when they heard his name, especially Summer and Belle. Belle then asked, Elle. Are you sure it was him, John? Elle was trying to control herself, but she was hyperventilating. She was really afraid of him and what he is capable of and what he can do to her and her friends. Drake tried to calm her down, she eventually did calm down, John finally responded. John. Yes, I am sure. John then explained what had happened, the redacted watcher entering his dreams, bringing out his bad memories and tried to bring into despair. After that he came up with an offer, stating that he would help me get revenge as long as he followed what he wanted. Issei then asked. Issei. What did he ask? John. He wanted me to kill all of you, he wanted me to betray you and finally kill him. I refused his offer, he did not take this too well and tried to take over my body. He wanted to break me, mentally and physically, so that I become another pawn, just like how Roman was. I stood my ground, nobody will make me turn against my friends, no matter what. He wanted me to betray you guys just like my partner did to me, and I would never do that, not to you guys, and especially not to you Ruby and Issei. Ruby. I am so proud of you John. Ruby hugged John, not caring for what happened or who is looking, while the others were proud of the choice that John made. Issei then spoke. Issei. You are a noble man John, a true hero in my opinion, you have a heart of a dragon and a soul of a true noble warrior in my opinion, I could not ask for a better friend than you, John. John. Thanks, but Issei is heart of a dragon a bad thing. Before Issei could respond, Drake roared in response. Drake. I will have you know that having the heart of a dragon is the strongest and the most noble thing in my opinion, boy. John panicked, he did not want to piss off a heavenly dragon, he said. John. Sorry, I did not mean to offend you, Drake. Drake huffed in response while Issei face vaulted. Ingvild calmed down John, she was happy that he did not fall into despair, but will always be with him. Issei then decided to speak. Issei. Hey guys, I and Ingvild need to go somewhere, if you don't mind. John. Oh sure, we won't mind. Ruby. Yeah, you guys have fun and Summer covered Ruby's mouth and responded. Summer. Alright guys, we will head back to the hotel room. Issei and Ingvild nod and leave from there. Summer then speaks. Summer. You thinking what I am thinking? John. I dunno, I don't think it's a good idea. Ruby. Come on John, it will be fun. Summer. And besides, think of it as this way, we are just looking after them so that they do not do anything stupid, not to mention Issei is known to be quite reckless it seems. Rex. I also want to see Issei date Jerry. I am also curious as to see how these humans mate. Summer and Ruby blush, that is something nobody wants to know, so once they were done, they made up their mind to spy on them while they date. As for John, he was dragged to spy along with them, he wanted to get Ruby to the cake shop so that they could have enjoyed themselves. Scene break. Level 6.1, 2:30 p.m. Issei was seen wearing casual clothes, he was waiting for Ingvild to show up, he knew of a hidden restaurant that Drake informed him about, that is where they would be having their date. After a while Ingvild had shown up, she seemed to wearing a casual orange color dress, she made sure to wear a low clothing, since she knew Issei liked those kind of clothes, she then approached and called out Issei. Issei looked at her and blushed, Ingvild then responded. Ingvild. How do I look Issei? Issei. Amazing. Ingvild. Ah no, you are embarrassing me by staring like that, Ice. Issei nodded and understood, he then spoke. Issei. So shall we, my princes. Ingvild nodded happily, she joined Issei and held his arm, they visited multiple shacks on level 6.1 and tried some of the food that was present there, given shack food is always cheap, they enjoyed every single moment of it, after which Ingvild then asked, Ingvild. Ice, I heard there is a bar that can give any liquid you want, even those exotic ones, so shall we go there? Issei. Indeed, anything for my dear princess, let's have some fun. Issei and Ingvild had entered the restaurant known as the bar, where they saw all kinds of drinks found in every country, they were intrigued by this alone, they saw the bartender shaking some drink, it was mostly cheap, given the rest of the food in level 6.1. Issei. Give us a drink, bartender, the best you have, make sure it is non-alcoholic. The bartender nodded and passed them the best drink they had, they consumed their drink, Ingvild was intrigued by the very taste of the drink of it, she enjoyed every taste of it, every single thing was too much for her. Ingvild. The taste, it is exceptional, the fruits are so blended well, like it is done by a professional Noah magician, I never knew food like this existed, this is divine, no, I can't think that I am a devil oh this is too much. Ingvild felt her head chill, Issei assumed that it was either a brain freeze or it is too much even for her as well, she enjoyed and dug into the drink like it was nothing, she enjoyed the very taste of the drink itself and she wanted one more, Issei also dug into the drink and he even enjoyed it just like Ingvild did, they were having fun during the date. They had an additional drink before they left the store after paying the bartender, plus an additional tip for making it this good. Ingvild. So where next? Issei. There is a secret restaurant in this level which I want to visit but Issei sensed him behind the wall, his friends were spying on him, for some reason he knew this was going to happen, he had his gut telling him to keep an eye on his surroundings. Meanwhile in the bushes, Nafumi. I cannot believe I woke up from my bed for spying on them. Nafumi's voice sounded irritated, he was sleeping soundly when Ruby jumped on him, yelling wake the heck up, shield hero, we have a dragon to spy on, John kept his hand on him and spoke. John. I know how you feel, even Ruby dragged me into this. Ruby. Quiet they might sense that we are hidden. Summer. I highly doubt they would, I was once a master of stealth, I had spied on Ty's and Raven's date once and they never sensed me, so I think we should be fine. Meanwhile with Issei. Issei. Not this again, first Rias and group, now my other friends, looks like history has sometimes a comical way of repeating itself hey Belle, can I ask you for something? Belle. Sure Ice. Issei. I need to borrow some of your skeletons. Belle. May I know oh I see, you want to distract them, worry not you deserve to have privacy on your date, so I will let you besides you don't have to ask every time, you know. Issei. I know but they are your powers, so it would be good to ask them, since they do belong to you oh and try not to hurt them, just distract them. Belle. Okay. Issei was in his thoughts, he was snapped out by Ingvild, she then spoke. Ingvild. Is something wrong, Ice? Issei brought her closer and spoke to her ear. Issei. We have company. Ingvild. Okay, so we need to. Issei, we need to run, on my signal Belle. Belle. Got it, enjoy your date. Greg watched the scene in amusement, it did bring back some memories when he had his date with the Keno back in the real world. Issei then grabbed Ingvild and ran, while Belle summoned skeletons including Larry. Meanwhile in the bushes. Summer. No, how could they sense us and run, we need to rush. Ruby. Yeah, I will not lose them, come on guys. John and Nafumi nodded they were clearly not into this spying frenzy, but given how little choice they had, they nevertheless followed. Unfortunately Issei knew this and summoned multiple skeletons to distract them, including Larry. Ruby. Larry, what are you doing here, can you let us go? Larry nodded his head sideways, he then commanded the skeletons to distract him, while John and Nafumi knowing that this was their chance, sneaked out of there. Given that Ruby and Summer were found out and stopped, they noticed Issei and Ingvild had long gone and gave up spying. Ruby then spoke. Ruby. You may have won this round, Issei, but I will find you again. John noticed this and grabbed Ruby, he spoke. John. Nope, we are going somewhere you would like. Ruby. No. John. What if I told you the place we are going is the Sweet Tooth, a place where cakes and other sweets are present? Ruby's eyes widened when she heard that, she then agreed to follow John to the shop. John mentally thanked Issei for telling him about this shop. Meanwhile with Issei and Ingvild managed to run away from their friends, they huffed in tiredness, before looking at the restaurant they were in hungry amigos. Issei. Hi, this is the restaurant we are supposed to be at, there is a secret restaurant underneath this one. Ingvild. Okay Ice, I don't mind going here, if you like it then I will also like it. Issei smiles, he then enters the restaurant where the manager greets them, he then looks for a vent on the ground. Issei. Dreg are you sure this is the one? Dreg. Yep, there is a space-themed restaurant which can be accessed from here, you will enjoy it, although not a lot of people know about this, Sonya discovered this by accident and uploaded into the gear. Issei. Alright, I trust her, and you as well. Let's have some fun. Ingvild. Ice, are you sure that the restaurant is in here? Issei. Yep, Drake told me, we might need to travel by vent, so that might be a hassle. Ingvild. No, I don't mind, let's go. Issei. Bell, has Larry come back with the skeletons? Bell. I already resummoned them back once they did their task, worry not, enjoy your date. Issei. Gee thanks, I owe you one. Bell. Get me some of that astronaut ice cream Drake keeps telling me about, I would love that. Issei. Consider it done, Milady. Bell smiled. Issei and Ingvild were traveling by the vent. Once they reached the end of the vent, they could see a space-themed restaurant that was hidden in the Hungry Amigos vent. Not a lot of people knew about this restaurant, and it was even stated to have low gravity. As soon as Issei and Ingvild entered this restaurant, they started to immediately float in the air. Ingvild started to panic. Ingvild. Ice, why am I floating now? Issei. Don't panic, Ingvild, it's because this restaurant has low gravity, take it easy. Ingvild pressured herself down and she was able to stand. She lost her balance for a while, but regained them. Ingvild. Huff huff, I got it, this is new, too new even for me. Issei. Do you like it, Haim? Issei noticed Ingvild looking at the space-themed restaurant. She was in stars, she never knew this side of life, and was happy to be introduced to it. She was still in her awe when Issei spoke. Issei. Hello Earth to Haim, hey. Ingvild. Oh sorry, about that ice, just too intrigued by what's going on here, I am so happy to come here. Issei. Well Haim, this is where the fun begins. Issei and Ingvild then went on to see what food they serve. It was all space-themed, from the burgers to pizza, to cupcakes, everything was space-themed. Ingvild was intrigued by this for her, this is a whole new world. After which one of the restaurant's employees spoke. Employee. Hello, there. Issei. General Kenobi. Employee. Huh. Issei. Sorry, force of habit, Ingvild. We want to know what is the best thing we can get here. Employee. Depends on your taste, young space adventurer, but we would suggest Starship cookies or Galaxy pizza, even space cake works quite well, which you want to try. Ingvild. I think I would go with the Starship cookies. Employee. Alright, give me a minute to heat them up and I will serve you guys on the table. After 2 minutes the employee gave them their cookies, it tasted pretty good, Ruby would have gone crazy from having these cookies, so Issei packs them for her. He then went on to have Galaxy pizza, which seemed to be a blackish-blue pizza, with multiple star-like ingredients on them, some were even planet-sized or moon-sized ones, although they were in a miniature form. They still were quite filling, it was enough size to fill a human stomach, but given that they were half-devils or in Issei's case a reincarnated devil, they could still have more. They then decided to see the space cake. It had multiple space stations and some planets on the surface. It had a mix of chocolate and blueberry in it, not to mention the interior was chocolate filled. The person then took 2 slices from the fridge and gave it to the young couple who enjoyed it completely. And finally the specialty, this restaurant is known for astronaut ice cream, which was basically a much sweeter and better version of nitrogen ice cream from the real world. They had the ice cream and smoke was coming out from their mouth. They enjoyed every single bit of it. They packed 1 full cake for their friends before heading home. Employee. That would be $750 for everything. Issei tried to pay the full, but Ingvild insisted him to only pay the half. Issei then asked. Issei. So do we need to get out of the vent? Employee. Nope, there is a space chute, it can easily send any size person across any issues. With that you will be transported out of here, just keep your belongings safe with you, we are not responsible for any damage to them once you get out of here. Issei. So uncivilized, okay noted. Issei nodded, he and Ingvild then went inside the chute and they were sent in a high speed outside the restaurant. Thankfully none of their belongings were damaged and they were able to walk outside. When Ingvild came close and kissed him on the mouth, Issei also returned the kiss in full glory and they both made out until they split up due to the lack of air. Ingvild. Ice, this was the best date I ever had, the drink I had first was out of this world literally, and the space-themed restaurant was too amazing, it was like a whole new world out there, and that was my first kiss, I am happy to share it with someone like you Ice. Issei. I am happy, Haim, very happy. Ingvild cuts him off. Ingvild. I want you to call me Ingvild Ice, my dear. Issei. Yeah, but Haim suits you, cause you are a princess in every way, cause you are my princess, and I cannot live without you. Ingvild blushed, she knew that she has found the one in her life and would spend an eternity with this man. She also knew that he has many people that equally love him back home, but she does not mind sharing him, as long as he desires it. They then head back, where they could see that the others were already in Nafumi's room, where he was taking rest for a while. Issei. Hey guys, we are back. John. So how was your date? Issei. Amazing, oh and I brought something for you guys as well, Ruby would love them. Ruby. Show me. Issei then showed the Starship cookies and the space cake to them. Water was falling from Ruby's mouth. She had never seen a space-themed cookie before and a space cake. Issei. Now Ruby relax, this is for everyone here, everyone will be getting equally, that's why I brought a lot of it. Nafumi. But where did you find these? We never saw them anywhere. Issei. Remember Hungry Amigos restaurant, Summer? Yeah, but you told us that there is only Mexican food there. Issei. I did, what I did not tell is that there is a hidden restaurant there, which is a space-themed restaurant. I just came to know before the date, only so don't jump on me after that. We enjoyed ourselves there and had fun. Summer. I see. Ingvild. Issei is right, the food was out of this world. Issei. That's right my princess. Ruby. Ha, John, we should also go there. John. Maybe, but for now let's have these, after all the food is from there, right? Issei. Issei. Yep, totally. Nafumi. Let's enjoy, I have been chazzing. Ruby and Summer glared at him, making him silent. Summer then spoke. Summer. Nafumi is right, we really should enjoy this for now. They dig into their food, Issei and Ingvild eat one since they have already had their fill. After that Summer takes the trash and throws it out, leaving Issei and the others alone in their room. Ruby then screamed. Ruby. You know what this calls for, pillow fight. Ruby threw a pillow at John who dodged, however the pillow hit Issei's last piece of cake. Issei. My cake, it was innocent. Issei says with shock and sadness. John stomps on the cake, making Issei scream. John then throws a pillow aimed at Ruby. She caught it and threw it back on John, however Issei caught it and spoke. Issei. Alright Rose, you asked for it, I will avenge my cake. Issei threw the pillow at high speed at Ruby, who was forced to dodge, however this hit Ingvild, shocking Issei. Issei. Oh no. Ingvild. You little shit. Ingvild used her water magic and threw the pillow at Issei, who dodged at it, hit John. John was not having that and aimed a pillow at Ingvild, who deflected and aimed at Nafumi, who used his shield to block and catch it. With a grin on his face, he spoke. Nafumi. Mind if I join? Nafumi threw the pillow at Ruby, who deflected back at Issei. Issei used his strength to aim at John. He aimed it at Ingvild, who used a water shield slowing the pillow. This continued for a while with them aiming the pillows at each other until Issei dodged a pillow aimed at him. This hit Summer, who had opened the door coming back from her cleaning. Issei. Oh. Ruby. We are done for. The pillow dropped, revealing a very angry Summer Rose. She is someone you do not want to see angry. She looked at the mess and got even more angry. She yelled. Summer. Look at the mess you guys have created. I want this cleaned right now or you all will be sleeping outside today. Issei. But you can't command me. Summer. Did I stutter? Issei Goru Haidu. Issei. And no, ma'am. Summer. Good, now I want this cleaned. I will be back in 20 minutes. That's all you have to clean this room or else you know what will happen. Everyone. Yes ma'am. Summer then left for a walk to cool her head, leaving the others alone. Drake then spoke. Drake. I had no idea she could be this intimidating. She scares even me. Ruby. Well, when you have to lead a team full of unpredictable people, coupled with dealing with my quick-to-anger older half-sister, then you need to be mentally resilient and strong to deal with them. John. Let's just clean this up before she comes back. I don't want to sleep outside. Ingvild. Agreed, I don't want to see her angry. The others nod and they start to clean up the room. Thankfully it was not too damaged and they were able to clean it easily. Once Summer came back, she was happy that the room was cleaned. She then spoke. Summer. No, go to sleep, it's too late, and no argument. Everyone nodded. They did not want to anger her. They have already learned their lesson and they will not repeat the same mistake again. Once outside, Issei apologized to Ingvild for accidentally hitting her with a pillow. She said that it was not his fault as she also hit him with the pillow. They had a small laugh before entering the room and sleeping for the night. The next day, level 6.1, 9:30 am. Ingvild wakes up the next day to see Issei holding her in a protective manner. She smiles, knowing that she has truly found the one. Issei was the next to wake up and he sees her smiling. He asks. Issei. Morning Heim, is something the matter? Ingvild nods her head sideways. She is just happy to find her true love. She does not mind sharing if it keeps him happy. Issei on the other hand would do the same, for her sake. Issei then says. Issei. Alright Ingvild, let's get up and get ready, we need to meet up with the others, we are anyway planning to move to the next level. Ingvild nods. Well, she was sad that they had to leave such an amazing level. She knew that they had to move to the next level very soon if they needed to get out of here and be at home finally. Issei and Ingvild get ready and they leave the room they are in. They take the bags that are packed with food and leave from the room, where they catch up with the others. Issei told them that they need to leave this level very soon. Ruby was saddened. She spoke. Ruby. Do we really need to leave this level? This is so good. Issei. Well, we do need to get back home, you know. I know most of you guys hate it, I hate it too, but we need to get a move. John. Issei is right, we need to move to the next level. Our target is the end, we need to be alive to reach that far, and we will be. Ruby sulked even more. Summer calmed her down, while Ingvild coped with her. Nafumi was the only one who was level-headed among the group. Even Issei and John did not want to leave this level, but had no choice. Issei then spoke to her secretly. Issei. I have marked this level, we can visit any time in the near future, so worry not. Ruby was happy, at the very least she knew that they could visit the level in the near future. They stopped at all almonds, where they purchased tons of almond water and other almond juice, as many in the group were bored at having simply almond water. John then asked, John? Since we are getting out, how do we do so? Issei. Well, there are two ways, one is by glass doors which will take us to level 11, or by a worn out door which will take us to level 6, but worry not, that door is guarded by a MEG personnel and will not be accessible to us. It was self-explanatory that they needed to go by the level 11 exit. They walked out of the glass doors and they were back in the skyscrapers found in level 11. Scene break. Chapter 22. Airport Frenzy. Level 11, 10:30 am. Issei and the others notice that they are in the skyscrapers of level 11. They knew that this place was where Summer lived for 12 years, as well as getting themselves trained for their future fights. She then noticed Sonia performing her daily duties of surveying the level and finding if there are threats around or not. Summer then calls out to her. Summer. Sonia. Sonia. That voice Summer. Summer and Sonia hugged each other like the best friends they were, and they smiled after meeting. Sonia then noticed Issei and the others also show up here. She then asked, Sonia. How did you guys come back here? Issei. You are in for a long story, then Sonia. I'm Skip, brought to you by Chibi Ruby, riding a Chibi Rex and yelling due to enjoyment. Issei then informed Sonia about what had happened so far, from the train malfunctioning and sending them to the dark metro, then heading to level 6.1 and finally them coming here. Sonia. So let me get this straight, you ended up in an unknown level, which happens to hold human hostility as well as a godlike eldritch entity, defeated it and escaped, then headed to level 6.1, had to recover because Nafumi here used a suicidal move, had spent time there, had a date between Issei and Ingvild, and finally came out of here the next day, and now you have ended up here. Did I sum it up correctly or did I miss something? Issei nodded his head and responded. Issei. Nope, that's about it, the metro sent us here, we did not go on purpose, like I did not even know about this level till I entered it or something, not to mention the metro car lost its power, and then we had to deal with people either hostile or afraid of us. Sonia sighs, she never thought they would end up in this level of all places, she then explains. Sonia. You guys ending up in the dark metro is extremely rare, hate to say it, but you guys were extremely unlucky getting there. It has its own class specification, that being Lambda, because it has hostile humans, as well as hostile sentient beings as well. We have sent some of our employees here and needless to say they were scarred for the rest of their lives. Issei. So you are telling us the chances of us getting there are extremely low? Sonia. Yes, extremely low, so low that for example, out of 250 agents not even 25 agents can enter there, but once you do, it is extremely hard to get out. Most of the people that do end up there are used as sacrifices for the entity called the Dark Metro, which you guys killed along with the Dark Priest. I think we should lower the level difficulty in the future, but for now, let's focus on the issue. Since you guys got in, he used his blood sacrifice ability to put down the beast, so for how much time you were out? Nafumi. More than 12 hours, but I am fine, I have been through worse. John. So we just want to go to the end level without the risk of going somewhere different, like somewhere worse than the dark metro. Sonia. There is one way, guys. Ruby. What? Sonia. It does not involve the metro, but the levels between this are known to be far more dangerous and deadlier than anything you have faced before. There is a level even harder than level 8, with far more dangerous entities and aggressive ones. It also has a direct access to the void, so I would suggest you to be careful. Summer. So where do we need to go? Sonia. Level 36, also known as the airport. Once you go there, board the flight, RaveL Backrooms Airways, which should take you to level 9223372036854775806, also nicknamed the last office. Summer. I have heard of that level, it was discovered just recently and is one level before level 9223372036854775807. Issei. What is level 9223372036854775807? Geez, this is tough saying this level number. Sonia. Also called the true final level, it is the level located at the edge of the backrooms and is considered to be the true end of the backrooms. Ingvild. You said it is dangerous, how dangerous we are talking about? It makes level 8 seem like a walk in the park. Not only does it have a direct one-way ticket to the void, but also has dangerous entities just waiting at the exit. Reveals itself to be none other than Roman Torchwick. Ruby goes on the defensive, not knowing what he is going to do next till Sonia says. Sonia. Relax, Ruby, he is on our side, he has joined MEG. Ruby. Oh, okay. Roman. Relax, Red, I have left a life of crime and now serve under MEG. My job is to use my abilities now to save people. Issei. Okay, so Sonia, you told us that there were people that were scarred for the rest of their life, so what happened to them? Sonia. Alright, Issei, but there will not be any name revealed for privacy reasons, okay? The team minus Summer nodded. Summer had known the protocol ever since she was a part of MEG. Sonia then went on the incident that had happened 2 years ago when this level was discovered. It resulted in one death, which was the death of an innocent villager, as well as the near death of an agent with third-degree burns. Several broken bones and torn skin, almost seeming like the Dark Metro crushed the agent to death. Sonia. And that's not even the worst part, she was already on stage 2 of the Insanity or Wretch cycle. It was even a miracle that she had a run-in with the Dark Metro and got out alive. Ingvild. What's Wretch cycle? Issei. Oh, I haven't told you about that, haven't I? Ingvild nodded sideways. Issei explained the entirety of the Wretch cycle to Ingvild, with stage 2 being the sort of last chance to go back to humanity. After that you will turn into a wretch, and there is no escape. You will become a monster after that. Ingvild gasped, she was scared at how someone becomes a wretch. Issei then asked, Issei. So she has red marks all over her body if I am correct? Sonia nodded in confirmation. Some were happy that the Dark Metro was dead, gone for good, while the others took pity for the survivors that survived the Dark Metro, cause being a wretch is a fate far worse than death itself. Issei then asked, Issei. So where is this airport if we need to get to level 36? Sonia. Oh, it is right at the border of level 11, close to level 9-1. Once you get there, you will enter level 36, after that you know what you need to do, right? And I hope you have stocked on food and almond water, since the food that is free is mostly expired, so keep those with you. The gang nodded in response. Sonia then took them to the level 11 border, which had a building next to it, saying airport. It was similar to how the airport exterior looked in real life, aside from the fact that it was anomalous in nature. Issei then asked, Issei. All we need to do is enter this building and we enter level 36. Sonia. Yep, and once you enter level 9223372036854775807, find the elevator there. However, that's where the most dangerous part is when you find the elevator. Once you access the elevator, click the end level, and it should take you there. After that you know what to do. Issei and the others nodded. They said their goodbyes to Sonia, who waved them as well. They had a feeling that this will not be the last time they see each other. Scene change. Level 36, 12:30 p.m. Issei and the others entered the airport, which seemed to be an airport in real life, which was good on its own. So far they did not have to run in with any hostile entities. Issei. This airport looks like I have seen from the real world, but where? Greg. It's because level 36 has the same map and lookout as the Buffalo Airport in United States of America. There are multiple ways of exiting, however the ones that need to be avoided is some of them, as they may result in an instant death. L. Yeah, I have heard that some exits can kill you, like in a really horrible way, so it is advised to avoid those ways out. Issei. So can you tell us which exits we need to avoid? Greg. So the ones that are to avoid are the United Airlines, since these are pretty much a guaranteed death sentence, there is no escape. Issei. So just like real life, huh? Nafumi. Totally, even the Backrooms knows how dangerous United is. Rex. I'm so confused. John. Me too. Ruby. Me 3. Ingvild. So why are they dangerous in the real world as well? Summer agreed with Ingvild's question. Issei and Nafumi then explained the United Airlines and their mishaps, from drugging pets to destruction of property, to even beating some passengers due to overbooked flights, not to mention the deaths they caused because of carelessness. The airlines was known to be a center of controversy when it came to the airline department. John. I see, they remind me of Mistral for some reason. Ruby. I can't believe they do that to dogs, I will never give Zwei in their hands. Issei. I assume Zwei is your pet dog. Ruby. He is the cutest, you should meet him in case you come to Vale. Summer. I never knew Tai had a dog back home, I would love to meet the little guy. Ruby. He is the best, he can operate complex machinery as well. Issei. That is some dog, I wish to meet him once we head back home, so all we need to do is find this Reeve Backrooms flight so that we can head home. Everyone. Right. Issei then looks up to see the map of the airport, which was similar to that of the Buffalo Airport in USA. He was surprised to see an exact copy of the level was around a place like the Backrooms. Issei. Huh, so this does look like the Buffalo Airport in USA, it is one of the most busiest airports out here. Well, thankfully I have the map inside the gear, so that should not be a problem. John. Hey Issei, all flights come at the terminal area, right? Issei. Yeah, John. Alright then, let's go and head to the next level. Everyone. Right. As they move ahead, Issei used the boosted gear to create a green projection of the map, which allowed them to navigate around. Issei had the map stored inside of the gear, which allowed the gang to navigate pretty easily. Summer noted that her invention, which she had worked on along with Jax, was the best she could produce so far. Issei and the others then noticed that several wanderers were running away from something. Summer then questioned what is going on. Summer. What happened here? The wanderer responded. Wanderer. There has been a horde of skin stealers and hounds being reported endlessly, we were just relaxing and several of them started showing up here. John. Guys look, there they are. The wanderer continued running away from the group. John then pointed out the horde of skin stealers and hounds that had shown up here. Ruby. Well, let's take these guys down for good. Everyone. Yeah. Everyone activated their weapons and begun fighting the horde. Given Issei's training in ninja arts by Sub-Zero, he was able to easily kill and defeat majority of the hounds with ease using Ascalon, without letting himself get bitten or scratched by them. Ingvild was also able to do the same, using her water magic to drown them, since they still needed to breathe air. Summer used her scythe to chop off their heads, since they knew that skin stealers cannot be killed unless you destroy their heads. John was also able to kill many of these entities without even using his suit. Given his training with the swordsman Kenshi, he knew that these entities can be killed by either decapitation or by destroying their weak spot, which he was able to find and destroy them with ease, killing them. Ruby enjoyed twirling her weapon in a circular manner, destroying them with ease, and taking them down like the Grim she used to deal with back home. Ruby. So the training really paid off, huh? Nafumi. Focus Ruby. Nafumi yelled as an oncoming skin stealer tried to attack and kill Ruby, however Nafumi blocked the attack and used his Viper Chimera shield to poison the skin stealer, since Nafumi had the cure the skin stealer was poisoned to death. Ruby. Thanks for the save. Nafumi nodded, he knew that he could trust them without the slave seal. Meanwhile Rex was just shredding through the hounds like butter, while Jerry led them to traps which easily killed the majority of them. Eventually most of them were either killed or destroyed, thankfully none were hurt or injured. Issei. This seems like a daily workout if we need to live here. Summer. I missed the passive hounds back at level 11, now we are back at destroying regular hounds. Ruby. True, it is just like the Grim back home. The others nodded, they all then decided to move to the terminal area where the flights are heading. They then looked at the cafeteria run by Azushan Food Market. Issei. Do you guys want to have some airport food? John. I don't mind, besides we need to save the food which we have for later, especially for the levels 922337203685477580 and 922337203685477580. Geez, how do they even say this? I am having a hard time saying them. Summer. Just don't you can call them last office and 64-bit level. Nafumi. I like the names, they sound much better. Summer. Thank you. Ingvild. I too would love to have some sandwiches, I am craving for them. Ruby. I am glad that Nora was not here. John. Or we would never have any food remaining, she is such a glutton sometimes. Issei. How much does she eat? John. You see that stack of pancakes there? Issei. Yeah. John. She can gobble them and have space for having more of them honestly. I was expecting her to at least stay by my side, but it matters not, cause I have real friends, I do not need those false friends. Sorry Rubes. Ruby. Not a problem, I am happy that you have gotten over them. John. Yeah, when I saw their true faces, I noticed how shallow they really were. Anyways, let's forget about them and buy our lunches. And speaking of food, what do you want, Jerry? Rex. Jerry. Sunflower seeds would be good for me. Rex. Almond water. Issei. Alright, it's settled, we will buy our lunches and then we can move to the terminal area to move on to the next level. Everyone nodded and they all went to continue eating their food. Many of them ordered for sandwiches, while Ruby ordered for pancakes, Rex had his almond water, and Jerry was fed sunflower seeds by Ruby. After having their lunch, Issei asked. Issei. Hey guys, I was thinking on introducing you guys to the folks back home, do you want to introduce yourselves? John. I think we should leave the introduction once we reach level 3999, in my opinion, but I do not mind being introduced to them. Ingvild. I don't think, I am scared what will Rias and the other girls think. Issei. Oh worry not, they will welcome you with open arms. Rex. I am not against having new friends. Summer. I agree with John, plus I don't know how they will react. Ruby. Mom, it will be fine, I want to meet this Asia girl and Azazel guy, I want to see his weapons and sacred gears once we head back. Nafumi. I think we should wait till we get to a safer level, plus level 3999 is an area where we can rest as well and teleport back to the level in case our tasks happen in other levels. Issei. Alright, majority states that we will call them once we reach level 3999, so we can wait. I wonder how they are doing back home though. Speaking of which, aren't you guys worried about the people back home? John. Oh yeah, Osbin and the professors are the only ones that truly cared for me, especially Goodwitch, she was a mother more than my birth mother ever was to me. Aside from that, my older sister Saffron and her wife Tara and finally Team CFVY were the only ones that cared for me. As for the others, I could care less what happens to them, but I will not tolerate them harassing or hurting the people I care about. Nafumi. Raftalia and Philo, I know that the queen will look after them, but I am still worried the country is still human supremacist, and I am worried that some people would go after them, plus there is a certain lady that wants to make me feel despair, so I also want to get back as soon as possible, so that they do not try anything funny with them. I should have really killed that bitch. Issei. I see, what about you Ruby? Ruby? I am same as John, although I cannot hate Yang, I still don't love her as much as before, she is still my sister and I cannot hate her, I am sorry John. John? No need to apologize to me crater face, it shows that you are still the same deep down, I am happy for that. Ruby smiled, while Issei and Summer noticed the connection and smirked, Summer then spoke softly. Summer? You thinking what I am thinking? Issei. Yep let's do it. Summer and Issei. Oh lovebird save that for the bed. The sound was enough for the Ruby and John to blush, they stammered and yelled at Issei and Summer to stop, which resulted in everyone chuckling at their pity. After a while of laughing they all then got up and headed for the terminal area. Time skip brought to you by Chibi Issei taming a hound with Chibi Sonya taking notes. Level 36, 2:30 p.m. Issei and the others were sitting on the airport terminal area, where they were waiting for their flight to be announced. Some were even playing games to spend some time since they were getting bored, while Summer was sleeping on the seat, given that there was a neck pillow present. Issei. Hey Ingvild, was wondering, once we get back would you come to Kuo Academy? Ingvild was startled by this question, she was mostly homeschooled by her parents, so her going to a school was new territory for her. Ingvild. I don't mind, I have never been to school before, I would love to, can you tell me how Kuo Academy is? Issei. Well it's a normal school where we go and learn, but it also houses supernatural students as well like Rias for example, who is a deviler arena who is an angel but honestly the school is basically weird to say the least, people are kind of hypocritical like the school is perverted, but they shame those that are caught, honestly it is kind of annoying, but you get used to it once you get there. John. Well at least it is better than Beacon, there is no war or something. Issei. And that's not all there are women that are idolized, literally, there are people lining up to see them, especially Rias, the one that I mentioned earlier. John. So she is like Puree. Issei. Now that you mention it yeah, they do look similar and their positions are similar, the only difference is their personality. John. I think you are right. That was when an announcement took place from the intercom. Announcer. The Reeve Backrooms Airways has landed, passengers you may head to gate 15 for your travels thank you for boarding Reeve Backrooms Airways. Issei. Well that's our cue, hey Summer wake up. Summer. Oh Issei, what's the matter? Issei. The flight has arrived, let's go. Summer nodded, she immediately freshened herself, after that the gang got up and moved to gate 15, it was surprisingly empty, they then enter the gate and they sit on the flight heading to level 9223372036854775806. After that they get down in what seems to be an office area. Scene break. Chapter 23. Last Office and Brother Gods. In Remnant, Beacon Academy, 3:30 p.m. Osborne. Fuck my life, why do I have this much paperwork? My life just keeps getting worse. Osborne said in an exhausted and annoyed tone, he wondered if there is anyone else who hated paperwork as much as he did, maybe Ironwood, maybe someone from another universe, but he is not wanting to do this much paperwork, even Glinda or Port does not have to suffer this much. That was when Glinda showed up with a man. He had graying black, spiky hair, faded red eyes, and slight stubble along his jawline. Along with a red tattered cloak, he wore a grey dress shirt with a long tail, black dress pants and black dress shoes. He also wore a ring on his right index finger, 2 other rings on his right ring finger and a necklace with a crooked cross-shaped pendant. His bangs were down most of the time. Osborne. So guys any news? Linda. Nothing, it's just that they vanished. Totally, Ty's condition has worsened, first Summer, now Ruby, both of them just vanished, I don't know what to do. Linda. Don't lose hope, Crow, we will find them. Crow. Yeah, but I did not expect Firecracker to turn on her sister for what that's supporting that boy for mere papers, Ty thinks he has failed Yang in raising her. Osborne. Don't blame yourself Crow, if anything I should have authorized those papers, I never expected his partner to turn on him and ruin his life, everything went downhill from there. Linda. And that's not the worst part Team WBY-Blake has pretty much demonized John for turning Ruby against them, while Team JNPR has become a complete mess after the reveal. Team CFVY have assisted us and insisted on being with us when it comes to looking for them. Only Team CRDL and some other students are unaffected, in fact they hate John so much that they are enjoying themselves. While the others are trying their best to cope and move on, but are unable to do so. Osborne's eyes, he knew the things that were supposed to be getting better are not getting better, it is still the same, except things have become way worse than they already are. He personally wanted to punish and expel Cardin, but his father was the leader of the Vale Council. He was nothing but a corrupt and a greedy man. Crow had to be pretty much convinced to not assassinate Cardin, since this would turn the council against Crow. Not that he had an issue in keeping himself hidden, he did not want to endanger him or worse lose him. He will not lose someone especially after what happened to Gretchen and Summer. That was when he gets a call from someone he had contacted a few days earlier. Then today, he knew that this was risky, but if it works out, he would be not only able to find them, but also save them from any danger. Hello Osborne, I think I have an idea where they are. Osborne. Ah James, did you find anything? The caller was a well-dressed man, much like Osborne. He wore a white overcoat with a grey undercoat, black sweater, a red necktie and a white glove on his right hand. His suit pants shared the same color as his overcoat and were tucked into silver boots accented in grey. Glinda. You called him Osborne, why? Osborne. Now calm down Glinda, I know you guys have your differences, but he was my best bet to finding them, and I will do anything to find them. I told you I will call him as a last resort. Ironwood. I may be a part of an arrogant bunch of fools, but I am not like them. I will do anything to protect the people, no matter the cost. I am here because Osborne asked me a favor. Osborne. Yeah, about that, I have a theory. Crow, I hope it is not your prideful brain, Jimmy. Ironwood. No, Crow, it is not. Listen, I think I know where they are. I checked every location with my soldiers, and I could not find any of them. Glinda. We know James, we know about that. Ironwood interrupts her. Ironwood. I think they are in a completely separate dimension. They are not here. They might be teleported somewhere else entirely. Now you can take this as a certainty or as a possibility. If we truly need to find where they are, we are going to need the relic of knowledge to summon Jin. Only she can tell us where they are. Glinda. I hope Lionheart can let us borrow them for this. Osborne. I will ask him if he can let us. That will not be necessary, Ozma. All of a sudden the men in a room are transported into a dimension where two celestial figures were standing there looking at them. Osborne recognizes them as the brother gods, the two deities that were responsible for the creation of Remnant and humanity. Osborne. Brother gods. Osborne bows before them, shocking the rest. They knew what this meant, that the brother gods did exist. Him bowing down shows that he was the god of light, then spoke. Light. Rise Ozma, or should I say Osborne? I think I should call you Osborne since that is your name. Osborne. Whatever you seem fit, speaking of which, do you know where they are? Ark. Indeed we do, human, indeed we do. Light. Now this might seem to be too much to most of you, but we do know where they are. Crow. Can you please tell us? One of them is my niece and I want to meet her. Crow's voice sounded desperate. The god of light noticed this and responded. Light. I know young Branwen, I know, they are in a dimension called the Backrooms, a dimension that exists between all universes, a dimension with a very slim chance of ever escaping, with dangerous entities capable of matching our power, and some even surpassing us. Osborne. Surpassing you? That's impossible. Ark. I am afraid it is, Ozma. The dimension they are in is controlled by a very malevolent entity, whose hatred surpasses that of even hers. They cannot be defeated so easily, but thankfully they are not alone. Glinda. Who are with them? Light. There are many people. They are the Red Dragon Emperor, the Shield Hero, the descendant of the true Leviathan, and finally someone who you once knew. Crow. These people, they sound very strong. Light. Cause they have been matched through impossible odds, and yet they have still survived. They have faced dangers before, and they are still together as a team. John Ark and Ruby Rose are safe with them for now, that is. Osborne. Who is after them? Ark. The entity that is controlling the dimension has noticed them and will do anything to stop them. They will destroy everything in their path in order to stop them from escaping home. Crow. You said that someone we once knew, can you tell us who it is? Light. She goes by the name of Summer Rose. Glinda. Summer is alive. Light. Indeed she is, and please lower your tone, Glinda. Glinda. I am so sorry, I just got excited. Crow was speechless, he was barely controlling his tears. Summer was alive this whole time, the gods then explained. Light. She was trapped in this dimension for 12 years, working for an old friend, saving several innocent lives there, and helping them escape. That was until. Crow. Until what? Light. Your niece and her friends found her. She was living in a safe area in level 11. It is safe to say that she is with them and accompanying them on their journey. They are right now in the level called Last Office, and they will be soon finding a way out of here. That is until he comes in and stops them. Osborne. So what should we do? Light. I would suggest you hope for their survival. Knowing them, I think they would make it out alive. You need to believe in them. Ironwood. I will try to get there to save them. Ark. Don't even try, mortal. The god of darkness's voice boomed through the area, pushing the four back. The god of light calmed down his brother. Light. Brother, calm down. Ark. Sorry about that, James, but if you go there, then you will be stuck. It would be wise for you to stay back and hope that they would come out alive. Ironwood nodded, not listening to the gods is stupidity. They know about this place more than he or anyone ever did. It was wise to listen to them. Light. My brother is right, you need to believe in them. They may be kids or teenagers, but they will make it out alive. You should have faith in them. I know they will come out alive. Ironwood. Very well, I will take your advice. Osborne. Thank you for telling us, god of light and god of darkness. Light. Oh, and by the way, I have completed all your paperwork, Osbin. I understand your pain. Osbin. Yay. Osbin jumped around in relief. Now he can rest for a while. The light god then spoke. Light. Now I will teleport you guys back to where you were. You should know what to do next. The four nodded. The light god then sends them back to their world while the gods have their discussion. Light. Brother, I think he is the key to defeating her. What do you think? Dark. Indeed, I see it too. He may be able to stop her. Scene change. Osbin. So now that we know where they are, all we can do is hope for their survival. Glinda, Crow, you need to trust the gods. If you go there, then you might share their fate, and James, don't even think about going there. Ironwood. I understand, Osbin. Glinda and Crow nod silently. Crow then asks. Crow. Should we tell this to anyone else? Osbin. No, at least not yet. We need to keep this among us. If word gets out that they are in a dimension that is something else, who knows what might happen. Ironwood. I agree, the council will do anything to get there, given how greedy they are. Crow. I am surprised that you understood Jimmy. Ironwood ignored him. Osbin then spoke. Osbin. Alright, now let's pretend that none of this ever happened. We need to keep this a secret from everyone, especially from her. The three nodded. They all then went to their separate jobs, but deep down they were worried for their safety. Osbin then looks out the window, seeing that WBY and JNPR are having a quarrel again. He thought. Osbin. Mr. John, Ms. Rose, wherever you are, stay safe. Osbin clenched his fists, determined to never let history repeat itself again. Scene break. In the backrooms. Level 9223372036854775806. 4:30 p.m. Issei and the others have reached the level nicknamed the last office. They need to find out a way to get out of here. They could see a personal COMPUTER on the desk, but it served no purpose aside from showing them the level map. The level map which showed a door which led to level 0, since John opened and checked it. Issei. So did you all find anything? Ruby. Nothing. Not only is this level claustrophobic, but also quite annoying. Why is it like this? Greg responds from the gear. Greg. Because this level is known as the most smallest level in the whole backrooms, just one office space with a length of 25 meters, and with a door leading to level 0. On the plus side it is safe and secure, on the minus side it is too small. Even I cannot come out here, not that I have any reason to do so. John. So is there any way we could get out of here? Greg. Only one way. My data tells me that there needs to be a disk. We need to find that first. I would suggest we need to split up into finding that disk. It could be anywhere. Issei. Alright guys, you heard what we said. We need to find that disk and get the hell out of here. It could be anywhere, although my guess is that it would be in the drawers and that bookshelf. We need to find that and get to the next level. Nafumi. Any idea how does the disk look? Issei. I think it should be a CD like the one used to insert in the PC. Judging by the PC, that's the disk we need to find. Together with our attempts we should be able to find the disk in no time. The others nodded. Jerry took to the upper shelves to see whether the disk is hidden. While the teams divided themselves to find the disk, some looked into the drawers, while the others took a look in the bookshelves to see whether they could find the disk. It took a while considering they needed to look into every drawer and bookshelf, seeing where the disk was. It was getting too tiring, since the bookshelf was surprisingly deep, which was unexpected, since the level itself was only 25 meters long. Eventually the first team was done with the drawers, saying, John. There is nothing here, no disk, only papers. Summer. I found some fire salt here. I had a feeling we might need some. Ingvild. Nope, aside from documents relating to some weird company which is the Backrooms Renovation Incorporated, there is nothing else here. We checked all the drawers, there is nothing here, no disk. John. So that leaves the bookshelves. Mind if we give you guys a hand? Issei. Sure, the more the merrier. Ruby. So far, there is nothing here. Nafumi. Yep, hey Jerry, Rex, is there a disk above? Rex. Nope, nothing but dust. Jerry. I have to agree with Rex, aside from dealing with dust, I have found nothing here. Jerry removes the dust of his body. Ruby brings out a bottle of almond water and decides to feed the bird a little. Jerry responds. Jerry, thank you Master Ruby. Ruby smiled in response. She fed Jerry, while the others looked at the disc trying to find where that damn disc is they wanted. Once Ruby was done feeding Jerry, even she joined as well. Jerry then noticed something deep inside the bookshelf. Jerry. Master Ruby, check this out. Ruby. What is it? I think I see something similar to a disc. Issei. Show me. I see it too, let me get this out. Issei managed to get the disc out. It had the label truth on it. Issei then asks. Issei. Guys, do you think this is the one? Greg. I think it is. The truth label on it seems to be symbolic of the truth of the final level, that being level 9223372036854775807. Fanfic nerd here. This number is really long, so PLZZ try to skip it when it comes again. Now to the story. Once this is done we should be able to get out of here. L. I also sense some weird energy coming out of the disk, we can only insert it inside. Issei. Heh, thanks Ruby. Issei pets Ruby's head which makes her smile, after which he inserts the disk into the PC. This results in a noise coming from the bookshelf, which opens up to reveal an elevator. Drake then responds. Drake. This is the elevator which will take us to level 9223372036854775807. John. Alright guys, let's move to the next level. Everyone. Right. They all enter the elevator. Once they are inside, a warning sign pops up. It says please hold the railings carefully, the elevator ride is going to be bumpy. Issei. Alright guys, just hold to anything tightly. As for Rex, you grab onto me and Jerry grab onto Ruby. Everyone nods. Issei then closed the elevator as the elevator ride started. Thankfully their grip was strong enough to deal with the bumpy elevator ride. Issei noticed the warning signs flashing across as the elevator was taking them through a bumpy ride. John was trying his hardest not to puke because of his motion sickness. He gulped it in before he could puke on anyone. He knew that his training with the suit helped him stabilize his motion sickness. But the elevator ride was too much. After that the elevator stopped, much to their happiness. It opened up to reveal a completely different level. Scene break. Level redacted, 5:30 p.m. The redacted watcher was constantly getting angry. His plans for stopping them were failing back to back. He knew that he needed something that would stop them for good, and he had just the thing. The redacted watcher. You may come in now. The shadowy figure was shown here. He asked, what is your desire, my lord? The redacted watcher. I need you to stop them, kill them if you can, but make them suffer. I want to see you stop them. Consider it done, my lord. The figure leaves from the room to head to level 9223372036854775807. The redacted watcher then speaks. The redacted watcher. Cherish your victory as much as you can. I will enjoy snatching it from you and sending you to despair. Then I will make you my other pawn as well. The redacted watcher had a grin on his face. He enjoys making innocent people suffer. He will not fall to some mere wanderers. Scene break. Chapter 24. The true final level. Level 9223372036854775807. 5:30 p.m. Issei and the others were amazed that this was the edge of the backrooms. It seemed to be a level that was completely black and white. They then looked up to what seemed to be the void. Issei. Drake, is that what they call the void? Drake. Indeed partner, the void is a place where once you enter, you cannot leave, and even if you do manage to somehow leave, by some sort of miracle, then you will end up in a place inhabited by either void beings or a dimension known as the downrooms. John. Drake, what are void beings? Drake. Void beings, codenamed Entity 35, are entities that are dark faceless figures wearing torn black robes. Usually neutral, meaning they will not attack unless provoked. Usually, when they find a wanderer they will circle above them for a few minutes before either attacking or leaving. For this reason, if you encounter void beings you should keep walking and ignore their presence. If a void being comes down in front of you, maintain eye contact until it leaves. It is relatively easy to provoke a void being, so it is recommended to follow this guide to avoid being killed. When provoked, the void beings will swarm the wanderer and begin tearing at their flesh. Once the skull is visible, they will crack it and forcibly remove the brain. It is unknown what they do with the brain, although it is believed that they use it to increase their own intelligence. The body of a void being has never been seen, but it is theorized that it is black like the face. The standard void being is about 6 feet tall, although they have been observed as large as 15 feet tall. It is unknown how they are able to fly, but it is theorized that their bodies contain some sort of lighter than air substance. They move through the air using the tail that comes out of the bottom of their robes. They are not believed to have legs, as they have never been observed on the ground. Ruby. So basically they look like the Dark Priest we encountered on the Dark Metro. Greg. Kind of, however unlike the Dark Priest, they are not controlled by some huge entity, and they are neutral in nature, unless you want to pick a fight with them. Ruby. Okay. Summer. As for the downrooms, nobody knows what exactly they are, but they will be found by no clipping into the void. The redacted watcher comes there often, although his residence is in the soul air of level redacted. Many people say they are one and the same. The only person that actually went there and is still alive, there is Dr. Charles, and he has been trying to get out of there. Ingvild. Can you show us how he looks? Summer. I have an image, although it is unknown whether he looks the same or whether he is still the same or not. Nafumi. Okay, why did you say if he is the same or not? Issei. You know how the redacted watcher toys with his victims, right? I think what Summer means was that they do not know whether he is alive or dead. He might have escaped, or he is still trapped there, or if he is still under the watcher's control. If so, then he must be either helping him either by mind controlling or breaking him. Ruby. Then we must save him from the watcher. Summer. As much as I would love to, once you enter level redacted, there is no escape. I am sorry, Ruby. Ruby. But Muam, is there not another way we can save him? Summer. Sorry dear, if he is still there, then maybe we can save him, but for now we have to find a way to move to the end. Ruby sulked while John consoled her. As much as he wanted to save Dr. Charles, they first needed to find a way to get out of here. Meanwhile Issei and the others were analyzing on how they should proceed with the next situation. Naofumi. From what Sonia told us, we need to find an elevator that takes us to the end. Ingvild. But we would be surrounded by several entities if we need to get to that elevator, some of them are even undocumented, and even they need to use the elevator. Issei. We have no choice, we need to use the elevator if we need to escape, that's the only way we can escape. Time skip brought to you by Chibi John training with Chibi Kenobi in the art of high ground. Issei and the others started walking up the steps of level 9223372036855477587, which was presumably infinite, but they needed to find the elevator. They eventually climbed the steps, which was halfway between themselves and the void itself. They then saw the horde of entities that are trying to get in. Beyond that they saw the elevator, was trying to go to the location, so they had time. Ruby rushed to get out of there, she had her crescent rose in her hand ready to slay entities, however Issei sensed a presence, it was right above them. Issei. Ruby watch out. Issei rushed in speeds faster than usual in his night form and got Ruby out of there. Once Issei got her out of there, the place where Ruby was completely smashed, there was a crater on the ground. When the dust settled, it revealed a man with a dark skin, glowing blue eyes, no hair on his head, some kind of energy that also is present on his chest and on his back, and has a toned physique. His whole body seems to be attached by pieces, like he has been built like a puzzle. Issei. Ruby, are you alright? Ruby nodded. When Issei brought her back to Summer, she embraced her daughter as she was fine. John also was worried. The construct fixed his head and then spoke. I missed, no matter, I will take you down, on my master's orders. Issei. Who are you? You are not human, aren't you? You presume correctly. Issei. Haidu, my name is Rias, former servant of Chronica, my master, the redacted watcher wishes you dead, and I am here as your executioner. Rias brings his hand out and uses his power to create a sand-like gauntlet on his hands. The gauntlet itself is gold in color, which was strong enough to withstand even the strongest of pressures. He then smashed on the ground, creating a massive shockwave pushing all of them back. Jerry and Rex are sent flying. Thankfully Jerry gets his momentum and grabs the doll face before it could go into the void. Ruby used her semblance and crescent rose to cut Jerry's head from his torso. Ruby. I did it, I defeated the servant. Ruby cheered on the victory, however Issei noticed Jerry's body moving despite being decapitated. Issei screamed. Issei. Ruby, get out of there. Ruby. What, why? Jerry's head then suddenly came to his body, shocking everyone. He instantly got up and looked as the group watched in horror and surprise. Jerry then slammed his fist onto the unsuspecting Rose. Thankfully her aura protected her, but the shockwaves sent her flying to the gang, knocking her next to Summer. Ruby felt the impact of the pain and the damage, she struggled to speak. Ruby. I'm sorry guys. Issei. Don't blame yourself Rubes, rest, leave this to us. John then charged at him and used his sword to slash at him, however Jerez grabbed the sword with his mere hands, shocking John since John used his full speed to slash at him. Jerez then spoke. Jerez. MEG technology, interesting. John. How? Jerez then slammed his fist into John, putting him on the ground, making him cough due to the impact. His aura once again protected from the slam, but he still felt the pain. Before Jerez could kill him, Naofumi came and protected himself from the attack. The slam was enough to stagger him to his knees. The impact was too much. Jerez kept punching Naofumi, forcing him to the ground. But Naofumi was resilient. He will not go down easily. Jerez then spoke. Jerez. Annoying. Jerez then slammed into Naofumi, breaking through his defense, forcing him down, in pain. John. Naofumi. Jerez tried to use the finishing blow to kill the duo, however Summer used her semblance to grab the duo and get them out of there. Jerez used his sands to slow Summer so he can grab her and take her down. However, if anything was to be taken of Summer's training, is that she was the fastest. She managed to get Naofumi and John out and safe. Issei saw this and went into his balance breaker and tried to punch and kick him endlessly, however Jerez was unfazed. He just stood there taking the hit without any issue. Jerez. So this is the one that defeated Angela, interesting. Issei. Not even a scratch. Belle spoke to him telepathically. Belle. Ice, get out of there now. Jerez. You have done yours, now it's my turn. Jerez then used a single punch and shattered Issei's balance breaker by punching his gut. Issei coughed up blood in response. Jerez then gave a kick using his time warping abilities, sending the Red Dragon Emperor flying. Issei was forcefully turned back to his regular form and sent to his team. Naofumi caught him. Ingvild used her water magic to hold Jerez in his place, making him unable to move. He asked. Naofumi. Are you alright? Issei. I am fine. Naofumi. Fast heal. Issei's wounds were healed thanks to Naofumi. Naofumi healed the rest of the teams up. Issei then telepathically spoke to Drake and Belle. Issei. This guy shattered my balance breaker in one punch, is there any way we can beat him? Greg. Killing him is out of option, he seems to be stuck at a moment in time, the only way we can beat him is either by sealing him away or finding that moment and destroying him then and there. L. So we are pretty much stuck with option 1, given that we do not know the moment he seems to be stuck, although I think we can disable him, given that he is a construct, he can still be beaten, the only issue is that he keeps reviving, we need to find the source or we are stuck in an endless loop if we can't beat him. Greg. Although I am surprised that he was able to shatter your balance breaker in one punch, it is safe to say that Volley cannot beat him and will get humiliated by him if we ever were to face him. Issei. He is not important right now, we have a threat bigger than him that we need to stop. Issei then escaped his mindscape. Issei. We have only 2 ways to defeat him, either we disable him or seal him away. John. The question is how can we seal him away, he is pretty much able to handle all of us with ease, even able to break Nafumi's defense. Nafumi. True, even your balance breaker was unable to create a dent in his body, like how strong is he? I can help you guys. The voice was revealed to be a man in his 20s, with a bearded look, he wore glasses and seemed to be wearing a scientist costume, Summer immediately recognized this man. Summer. Hines, is that you? The man recognized as Hines, spoke. Hines. It's been a while Summer, there is only one way to defeat him, and I am gonna need your help. Ruby. How do you know my mother? Hines. Oh, I worked with her before, and judging by your look and your relationship with Summer, I presume you are Ruby Rose. Ruby gasps and responds. Ruby. How did you know my name? Hines. Your mother told me a lot about you, Ruby, you are still as lively as ever, she showed me when you were younger, I always wanted to meet you in person. Ruby. Okay. Summer then introduced Hines to the rest of the group. Summer. Everyone, this is Hines Bernadette, the smartest man in the major exploration group, the younger brother of Leslie Bernadette, the impresario G, the second most powerful man in the MEG, when it comes to ranks, second to only the first. Hines. You flatter me, Summer, just call me Hines guys, as for my achievements, I just do it to help others, but I can never be like my older brother, no matter what, but I like to help others in my own way. Hines chuckled after that, Issei and Nafumi noticed his insecurities and inferiority complex to his brother, Summer then spoke. Summer. Impresario G has been looking for you Hines, where were you? Hines. You know me Summer, I do not stay in one place, I roam around places, researching levels in many places, I have even visited the rare the moon level, and meet the moon goddess Mater Looney. Issei. Who is she Dreg? Greg. Mater Looney, code numbered entity 999, she is very strong, but she is pretty compassionate who will not do anything even if you harm or insult her, but just show her some respect and compassion, partner, and you will have a person you can trust wholeheartedly. She is the goddess who resides in the moon level of the Backrooms and will be seen roaming around once every 15 days. Despite this, she is capable of completely hypnotizing you once every 15 days, so just don't look at the moon. L. I have heard of her, she seemed to be nice, in my books. Hines. Ah Belle, it looks like you have found someone suitable to move with. L. Indeed, I do not regret coming with a boy, honestly it has been much better roaming the world. Issei. You know him Belle. L. Yup, aside from you, he is one of the few that treated me with respect and kindness, I just hate those that treat me with disrespect and try to humiliate me. Ingvild. Guys, if you are done, I cannot hold him for much longer. Ingvild was struggling to hold Jaraz down, eventually he broke free and seemed really angry, he then charged at the Leviathan princess, but Issei was able to use his illegal move Triana to hold Jaraz in his place. Issei. Welsh Draconic Rook. Change solid impact. Issei gave a punch sending Jaraz flying, Ingvild sat down for a while, exhausted, Issei then spoke. Issei. I am sorry, leave this to us, you can rest for a while. Ingvild nodded and smiled, as exhausted as she is Ingvild wanted to make sure that she was not giving her team trouble. Hines then spoke. Hines. I have a device that can stun his body for a while, Issei, I hope your balance breaker is not your strongest. Issei. No, why do you ask? Hines. It would have been much harder, the only way to stop Jaraz is to send him to the void above, he will be falling for all eternity unable to escape, aside from that we have no other option. I am going to need you guys to distract him as much as possible. John. You heard the man, let's take this guy down. Jaraz. No matter what you do, John Ark, you will never beat me. Jaraz tried to taunt John by bringing his past, but John was unfazed, he had moved on from his former family. Issei. There is nothing wrong in trying, take him down guys. Jaraz. Foolish, yet determined. Admirable, I can see why the Watcher hated you guys now. Issei. And yet you still want to fight us, can you tell us why Jaraz? Jaraz. I have only one purpose and it is to serve one master. My former master Chronica did not give me my desired peace, so when I came here, the redacted watcher noticed me and gave me the desire for my eternal peace if I do what he desired, so I am here to kill you in the most torturous way possible, as inhumane it is I will do what he asks. Ruby. Looks like we have no choice. Summer. Let's take him down, guys. Everyone. Yeah. Rias got ready for the fight, everyone used their strongest attacks to distract him, while Hines prepared his device to stun Rias. Issei went into his Cardinal Crimson promotion. Issei. Who is about to awaken, am the Red Dragon Emperor who has discarded the principles of domination. I shall walk the road of righteousness by having infinite hopes and dreams. I shall become the King of Crimson Dragon, and I promise you all. I shall show you the future which shines in true crimson light. The boosted gear then announced. Reg. Mode change. Queen. Issei entered into his Cardinal Crimson form, the same form that held its own against the Dark Metro, and defeated the glitched goddess, Angela. Rias looked in interest. He knew that this is the form that defeated and killed Angela. He then decided to fight against Issei, since he was the leader, and was surprised that Issei was able to hold his own against Rias. Rias. It's no wonder the Watcher saw you as a threat, young Issei, you are pretty good, then let's end this once and for all. Issei nodded and continued fighting. He constantly used his Star Sonic booster to close the gap, which Rias had a difficulty in keeping up, coupled by the attacks from the others, with Naofumi using his shield prison and Ruby using ice dust to keep him in place. He was struggling to keep himself up. He was able to break the barriers though, and used his sand attacks to keep them occupied. He used sand trap and sand prison to keep her in place. Hines was then done with the device, he called Issei. Hines. Issei, get out of the way, anyone with trapping skills trap him. Ruby and Naofumi understood the K. Ingvild used her water magic, Naofumi used airstrike shield in 3 directions, leaving an opening which allowed Hines to throw the device. Ruby and Summer used ice dust to hold the construct in place, the device connected, and Rias was dazed temporarily, he lost all control of his body function. Hines then spoke. Hines. Issei, you will only have 5 minutes before he comes online, send him back to the void, now. Hines's voice was pretty loud and clear. Issei then went into his Star Sonic mode and grabbed Rias. Boost 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 boost. Fang Blast Booster. Issei threw Rias in the void, the boosted gear then called Dragon Blaster. The blast made a direct hit, Rias' body was starting to get destroyed, the blast sent him flying into the void, which was directly above them. Rias then spoke through his destroyed body, his voice was barely heard. Rias. I seek and finally feel it eater eternal peace, thank you, I say. Rias fell into the void never to be seen again, it was unknown whether he is still alive, but he will not be coming back, at least not anytime soon. Issei then flew back down to his team, where he powered down, he then caught up with the others. John. You did it, Issei, you took him down and Issei. No John, we took him down, we did it. Summer. Issei is right, everyone played a crucial role in taking him down, but it was mainly you and Hines that did the job. Hines. Not a problem, just doing my job but we are not done, we still need to get out of here. Issei. Right, we still have an entity horde to take down, and they all have one thing in mind, rescue. Issei pointed to the entity horde, the entities present were hounds, skin stealers, death rats, death moths, death wasps, death ostriches, reviaks, wranglers, smilers, partygoers and many more entities. Everyone looked as their entity horde glared at them, it was the biggest they have encountered so far, they all jumped right in. Issei went into his Cardinal Crimson, killing any entities that were near him with ease, even burning some of them. John used his armor and blitzed through any unfortunate entity that came in his path, resulting in brutal decapitation and worse full body dismemberment. Ruby used her scythe to destroy any close entities and used its ranged mode to destroy any of ranged or the dangerous ones. Naofumi and Ingvild were working together. Ingvild used her Sea Serpent of the End to kill any entities that managed to come close to her, while Naofumi defended her from any blind spots. Naofumi did not want to set the fun out and used Shield Prison, coupled with Iron Maiden, to crush any entity that were trying to harm or kill them. Ingvild also used her water magic to throw off any entities or send them upwards into the void where they fell for all eternity. Summer did not want to be left out, her huntsman training, and her existence as a living legend, made any entity that came near her into mincemeat. None were able to handle her immense speed, as it was much faster than Ruby. Her crescent light scythe was able to destroy and dismember any entity that came close to her. Hines was able to destroy any entities that came near him with his technology, as any and all entities were able to be disintegrated into nothingness. Not to mention he had blasters ready to kill any entities that had the bright idea of ambushing him. Issei did not let him and his friends had the fun, and released Dragon Bell. in her true form, to fight against the entities. They'll pretty much send any unfortunate entities to their dreadful demise by making them fall on the ground, while Drake flew like the fiery drake that he was and burned them alive, which included every single trace of them. Rex sliced through any entity that came close to his friends. And finally Jerry led any foolish and rabid entity towards Drake and Belle, as the duo tormented any entity that fell for Jerry's misleading tricks. They enjoyed every single moment of being released and fighting against the horde, while at the same time they were able to help the gang stay alive. Eventually they entered into the elevator, while Issei asked to let them inside the gear, which they did not mind, since they were unable to enter the elevator. Issei and the others were saddened, while Issei asked for Belle to come in her human form, as she could come with them. Belle however refused, still believing people would still be afraid of her. Belle responded telepathically, "Elle. I am sorry, Ice, I am still scared that people will be afraid of me for what I have done." Issei. "I understand, but I assure you the people back home will accept you." Elle smiled genuinely, she is happy to have met Issei. Well, they enter the elevator with their lives intact, ready to move to the end level. Issei clicks the button that leads them to the end level. The elevator moves on to the level. Before the elevator reaches, Issei says, "Issei. Now guys, do not fall for this level's tricks, and Hines, do you wish to join us?" Hines. "I do not mind joining you guys, any friend of Summer is a friend of mine, and besides I would love to help you guys get out." And Issei is right, this level is known for deceiving others into thinking that you have escaped. Do not fall for this level's tricks, understand? Everyone? Yeah. John. We will finally go home very soon, now let's head to this weird level. The others agreed they are very soon, only 2 levels are left before they will go home for good. Issei looked on the opening elevator door as he thought. Issei. Everyone back home, believe in us, I will get out of here, Mom, Dad, Azazel Sensei, President, Lord Lucifer, everyone, have faith in me, I will come home, and I will bring everybody back home alive. Both Belle and Drake agreed with Issei's thoughts. No one is going to die on Issei's watch, and he will come out alive with his friends no matter the cost. Scene break. Chapter 25. End. The end, 8:30 p.m. The elevator then opened up, revealing the end level, which they all saw. Several of Issei's allies were under the impression that they were freed, however they remembered Issei and Sonya's warning, since they knew that this level is capable of messing with their minds. Aside from that, the level is relatively safe, minus the fact that if they did not find a way out, they might be sent to a random level depending on how good their luck is. Nafumi. So this is the end level, I was honestly expecting more. The end level looked to be a sort of a library that expanded for an infinite amount of miles. It had the sign "The End is Near" written on the walls. There were cupboards there that showed emptiness and devoid of anything. Not even any entity was present, or so it seemed. They still needed to be careful in case any ambush happened to them or not. Issei. That's not all, I cannot have any signal here, since there is no network, not even Wi-Fi is present here. The only way to get out is wait, which can send us to a random level, or to find a computer that is working. After that we need to find the file trine.exe, so that we can get out of here. Hines responded to the statement. Hines. That's where the problem is, Issei. The computer terminals are known to be well traps for entities such as hostile enderlings and partygoers. John. Partygoers are here. Hines. I am afraid so, it seems you had a run-in with them. John. Correct, they tried to turn me into one of them. If it wasn't for Ruby and Issei arriving and saving me on time, I would have become like them. Summer. What exactly happened back then? Issei. It happened right after I met John and Ruby. While we were trying to leave level 2, one of the partygoers came and kidnapped John. I and Ruby along with Rex gave chase to them, and we ended up in level 1. We then tracked John by threatening several partygoers. Thankfully they are cowards and can be negotiated with, but cannot be trusted since they are known to ambush. After that we found him strapped as the partygoers were trying to convert him into one of them. Ruby then continued. Ruby. After that I released John, while Issei held and fought off against a partygoer horde led by a partyhest to take us down, but they underestimated Issei. Issei killed and defeated every single one of them, after which he killed the partyhest as well, taking him down for good. After that we got John, and then we left from a door which took us to level 3. Summer. Why you did not tell this to any of us? Issei. You never asked us, but even we wanted to get rid of that memory. Ruby. The food there is just messed up. Summer. Did you eat any of it? Ruby. No, because I knew it was made up of human flesh, thanks to Drake. He informed me before I could grab it. Ingvild. That's messed up. Nafumi. Agreed, totally disgusting. For once I am glad they are dead. I just hope we don't encounter any of them soon. Summer then thanked Drake. Summer. Thank you, Drake. Drake responded from the gear. Drake. Not a problem, Summer, I am happy to help you guys. Hines was looking at Issei's boosted gear with interest. He had seen many things in his life before, but he never saw a talking weapon. He then asked. Hines. It seems to be an artificial intelligence, but in reality it is a spirit, right? Drake. Correct, I am one of the two heavenly dragons, Drake. I hail from the same dimension as Issei and Ingvild, and I am here to guide and help you through these levels. Issei. Drake is correct, and without him, who knows where would we be. Now all we need to do is find a computer terminal and run the trine.exe file so that we can move on to the level 3999. Drake smiled. John then spoke. John. So I would suggest we stay in a group. We cannot split up given any and all sorts of communication is disabled, so it would be wise that we stick together and find a computer terminal. The others nodded. Splitting up is a bad idea, considering that they might be ambushed by a horde of partygoers or enderlings, Issei then asked. Issei. Hey Drake, what are these enderlings? Drake. Enderlings, code numbered Entity 400, not to be confused with Minecraft enderlings. Entity 400, better known as enderlings, are intelligent humanoid creatures with abnormal features. All of them seem to lack a face at first, hence they are constantly mistaken for facelings. However, there is always a giant eye right in the middle of their face that is constantly closed. Even when their eyes are closed, they don't have any trouble navigating the end, since they seem to have lived there for their entire lives. Enderlings have varying skin colors, however the most common variants are fully white, gray and fully black. They can be found as a librarian in certain sections of the end, or they can be found placing books on empty bookshelves or reading them. Since they do not have a mouth, they can communicate using sign language, and they can also vocalize screeching noises by unknown means. Enderlings, despite not being able to speak, know every language possible, including languages that originated from the Backrooms. This is likely because of the books they read. Some enderlings can wear clothing of their choice, too, but they mostly do not. Enderlings are mostly docile, but will become hostile while they are in a dark area, likely because they cannot see or navigate easily in those areas. If this happens, don't make any sudden movements. Enderlings are partly deaf, and they also cannot smell, but they can see very well and will likely detect sudden movements in the dark or light. If one detects you, it's probably already too late. The enderling will start chasing you down. Enderlings are very slow in general, but will grow 8 spider-like legs to chase you down. Once they catch you, they'll throw you into the void or will make you into one of them if they are still in the dark or still hostile. If they are lured back into the brightness, they will become docile again and put you down if they caught you. Aside from that, enderlings are naturally quiet, gentle beings and do not wish to harm you unless they have to. They tend to be scared of wanderers that are taller than them and will run away if they find one. If they were to be attacked while docile, they would transform the wanderer into an enderling by removing their face and replacing it with an eye similar to theirs, then they would inject a black substance into them. After an hour, the wanderer will be completely transformed. There is a way to revert this transformation, but it's advised not to agitate the enderlings. This would include mimicking them, such as walking like them, acting like them or dressing like them. They can tell if one is a human or not. Everyone understood to not anger these creatures and to stay away from them if they are in the dark. They can still defend themselves, but they do not want to fight against an enderling, given that how peaceful they are meant to be. Issei then saw a black entity with a huge eye sticking on the head. Issei immediately recognized this entity as an enderling, who was pretty much minding its own business. The enderling seemed to be standing on its four trying to do something. Ruby was curious, however Summer stopped her. Ruby? But Moon. Summer. Sorry sweetie, but it is best to not aggravate him, we don't want to send you to the void. Hines. Summer is right Ruby, she knows how to evade danger even better than I do, it would be wise to listen to her. Ruby reluctantly nodded, she was curious like her child. Summer smiled as she knew that Ruby knows when to be mature, but at the same time she still had the curiosity of a child, and that needed to be looked after. Yang babying her made her act like a baby, as a result she was always under the shelter or under protection. Summer is happy that her daughter is slowly maturing. They then walked to look for a computer. Time skip brought to you by chibi partygoers trying to lure people by giving them free V-Bucks and failing miserably. Issei and the others seem to have been walking for what seems to be an hour. Thankfully no one has been sent to any random level, since every 15 minutes they did a rain check to see whether everyone is there, since the end loves to send someone to a random level, whether they like it or not. Some are lucky enough to end up in levels like the Promised Land or level 3999, while the less unfortunate end up in level 8 or level Omega. Issei then notices a working computer terminal in the distance, he then calls. Issei. Guys look. Issei then points to the computer terminal, he then continues. Issei. A computer. John then responds. John. Oh it's working, let's use it. Issei and John run towards the computer terminal in order for it to run, however a voice stops them mid in their tracks. Greg. Both of you stop, now. Issei and John stop dead in their tracks. They could then see something next to the computer almost at a distance of a walking distance from the computer. Drake then explained himself. Drake. That's what you call a Photoshop entity, stay away from that. Over time the others also joined the duo, wondering what had happened. Hines and Summer immediately recognized what that entity is, he then spoke. Hines. I am glad that both of you stopped at the right time, or you would have been imprisoned for all eternity. Summer smacked the heads of both John and Issei for their recklessness, they held their heads in pain. Summer then spoke. Summer. Don't ever do that, both of you. Issei. But why, it is just a lifeless statue. Greg. Partner, that's what many wanderers make a mistake of, that's no lifeless statue, it is the false appearance of the Photoshop entity. In reality, once an innocent wanderer gets close to it, it then shows its real appearance. The Photoshop entity code numbered Entity 104 has a blocky appearance and always has been seen near a desktop computer. This entity is very dangerous to anyone who is near it, so it is suggested that you avoid Photoshop by keeping your distance and staying out of its way. Anyone unfortunate enough to get close to it, a large transparent box with black edges will surround them. Any matter that passes through the walls of this box will be destroyed as if the entity is cropping it out of existence. The entity doesn't attack if you take a picture of it with a camera, even if you get up close. It is theorized that this is the entity might want some attention and praise. If you place an object in front of it, a large, white, and bloody arm will come out of the computer, grab the object into the screen. After this, the object will be seen on the monitor. If Photoshop has enough items, it will materialize the objects from the desktop screen, change the hue with dark red, and use them as legs to move around. The entity will not attack you if give it an item and will find its prey somewhere else. Issei. Damn, you saved my life, Dreg, I am sorry for acting like that. Greg. It's alright, I am happy that you did not become a part of it. John. So how were you able to sense it, since we never threw an object at it? Greg. Simple, I sensed a presence inside the statue, not to mention the entity seemed awfully familiar, after checking my data it matched a Photoshop entity. The entity had two photos of eyes, a picture of a pitbull's mouth wide open for its face. For its body, it had a block that has a photograph of flesh on all sides. The images for the eyes and face are completely flat. The entire body looks blocky and has a glitching effect to it. The entity also looked to have an estimated height of 7'9". John. I see. Ruby was happy that John was alive, while Ingvild was angry at Issei for his reckless nature. It took a while for Issei to calm her down, with the promise of never doing anything reckless ever again. The others sighed at this, they knew that something would never change, while Heinz was curious as to what is going on here. Issei. So is there a way we can get him to move from there? L. I would suggest using your dragon shot or discard some of the unless items you have, like those chips wrappers and empty almond bottles, throw it at them, so that the entity can take it in. Issei. Alright, let's then just throw some stuff and send it away. Issei and the others do just that, they take out any trash they had in the bag and they threw it to the entity. As they threw it, the entity grabbed the items with a white hand coming out of the statue and grabbed it inside. Once there were enough items inside the Photoshop entity, it suddenly grew legs and started walking away to another spot to gain another target. Nafumi. Well, we got rid of all the trash in our bag, making it have some more space, that's a plus. I never knew that the statue can be a walking trash can as well. Issei. Yup, who knew we could use it in that way? Ingvild. Guys, stop, now let's use the terminal and get out of here. Both. Right. Issei and the others walk through the terminal, they then look at the operating system, which was like none of they ever encountered. Heinz was the only one that knew about this and told the others. Heinz. I can find the file, I need you to guard me, while I do so, there might be partygoers that may come here so. Issei. Consider it done, right guys? Everyone nodded in agreement, they needed to protect Heinz while he finds the file, so that they can get out of here and move to level 3999. They then heard someone singing a nursery rhyme. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above a world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Issei immediately recognized this as a tactic that partygoers use to lure innocent wanderers. Some felt tired, but they immediately recovered. Issei then informed them to the others. Issei. They're here. Issei remembered the bipedal creatures that had appeared in level 2 and had attacked them in level 1 and level 3 as well. They still had the same rough and leathery skin, typically tinted a dull yellow. They have no other functional features, with the exception of a cartoonish smile drawn onto their face with a substance resembling human blood. The partygoers are highly intelligent as they were effortlessly able to traverse through the backrooms. Partygoer number 1. All new members for our party equals. Issei. You partygoers never learn, do you? Always trying to attack us or convert us. Guys, let's take them out. They do not listen when asked to give up. I and Ruby learned this when we faced them in level fun. Ruby nodded in agreement, another partygoer spoke. Partygoer number 2. You cannot beat us, human, we are too much for you guys. John. We will see about that, besides I got a score to settle with you freaks. John went into his mechanical suit which powered up a blue color. Issei went into his balance breaker. Summer activated her crescent light scythe to take them out. Her experience as a huntsman and MEG agent showed that she could hold her own against a horde, and Nafumi activated Raph's shield, with Rex having his claws out. Ruby used her crescent rows in her sniper mode to snipe down these partygoers, since she knew that fire dust always worked, it easily burned through their skin like last time, and Ingvild had their water magic ready to drown them for good. Issei was worried about Rex, but Drake reassured him that even if Rex was fatally damaged, he could easily be reborn into a new dollface with the same memories it had like last time. Now that was nice, and Rex was loyal to him, no matter what happens, and he will always be by his side. Issei. John, lead the charge, you want to settle the score with them, take them out. John nodded and spoke. John. You got it Issei, Naofumi, Summer and Rex, take them out in close range, since we can handle them in close range, protect Ruby and Ingvild, use your ranged attacks to assist and take down anyone that comes close to us, but especially protect Hines, don't let the partygoers get to him. Everyone. Right. John. Let's take these suckers down, don't let anyone get to Hines and look after each other and protect their backs, these things are really deceptive in nature, and will do anything to get their prey or turn us into one of them. Jerry, take to the skies to see if there are any more partygoers joining this merry band of partygoers. Everyone. You got it John leader. Everyone got into their positions to take these partygoers out once and for all. Issei summons Ascalon from his boosted gear. Blade. Issei summoned his Ascalon, he used his speed form to slice and dice the partygoers, some tried to jump on Issei, however all they got was pure decapitation, as their heads fell off their body in an instant with ease. Issei fired a dragon shot, destroying their bodies with ease. John was the next, he used his mechanical suit to evade their claws and teeth, since the suit gave him massive amounts of speed and durability, with ease allowing him to destroy their bodies with ease. Most were sliced and diced into multiple pieces with ease. Naofumi was the next, he used shield prison to group several partygoers into one group, trapping them. The next thing he did was use Iron Maiden to crush these partygoers into a bloody pulp, he showed no mercy to any of them, given how psychotic they are. Rex used his claws to tear apart any of the partygoers that came after Naofumi from his blind spot with ease, and finally Summer sliced and diced any partygoers that came close to her or any of her friends. She was more adept in using her scythe than Ruby was, her skills were unmatched, there was a reason that she was considered to be one of the best huntsmen of all time. She then disposed off their bodies using fire dust which she fired from the pistol she carried with her for ranged attacks and burned their bodies. Ruby and Ingvild were able to keep their distance. Ruby kept firing her fire dust that burned any partygoer that came near their team, or Hines, who was still struggling to find that stupid file. Ingvild used her water attacks to douse or slow them, she used her sea serpent of the end ability to drown any partygoer that came close. Ruby fired ice dust to freeze those drowned partygoers, killing them in an instant. Jerry then came flying to the group, he spoke. Jerry. More partygoers incoming. Issei. Guys ready for round 2. Everyone. Yeah. They waited for the partygoers to come and attack them, they certainly were taking their sweet time, they tried to use the nursery rhyme trick to weaken the group, however this time, they were prepared and put their hands on their ears, once they appeared they began fighting once again, until Hines found the file. Hines had successfully found the file known as Truine.exe, he then spoke. Hines. Guys, I will activate the file now, we will be falling through the ground, brace yourselves. Summer. What about these partygoers? These things Summer slices their head off, they will not fall with us. Hines. Worry not, they will not, only we will fall through, take down anyone that is close to you guys. Ruby. Jerry, come on my shoulder. Issei. Rex, you two also come on my shoulder. The duo nodded and they climbed on the shoulder of their masters. Hines then opened up the file, which immediately opened up, as the ground opened up to consume them, they all fell through, however some partygoers decided to join them, it was a big mistake as they were immediately killed by the group. Once they fell through, Issei asked. Issei. Is everyone alright? Ingvild. Yeah, my tailbone kind of hurts. John. My aura is weakened after the fight. Hey Issei, where are we? Issei. It seems to be an infinite arcade, with neon lights and a window depicting is that Kuo. Greg. Indeed, welcome to level 3999, the true exit to the backrooms, we can get out in no time. Greg said with happiness and achievement. Issei and the others cheered, they were at the backrooms level, that is a guaranteed exit. Ruby then said. Ruby. We did it, Mom, John, we will get out of here. Summer. Indeed we will, now we need to just complete the tasks, and we will be out of here in no time, let's get on with those tasks. Everyone nodded and smiled, they will finally escape the backrooms in one piece, this is the only level where they can finally leave the backrooms. Scene break. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching, if you enjoyed this video please like and share this video.